And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, social media, mainstream media, everywhere, and we're going to jump right into it. What's going on with you guys? Not you guys. You guys are smart. You guys have an IQ beyond that of a lentil, as they say we should eat rather than eating meat. But anyway, what's going on with these guys from Reddit going to Ukraine, calling themselves freedom fighters and mercenaries and whatnot, only to get murked for a few updoots, as they cool kids say. You know, you get a few upvotes on Reddit, but you dead, so who cares? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, let's talk about Ashley Biden's diary being confirmed just, what's that, like a day or two after they confirmed Hunter Biden's laptop from the very same newspaper, New York Times. What's going on? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, Babylon B got suspended by Twitter over a joke about quote unquote Rachel Levine. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, Supreme Court Justice nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't quite know what a woman is. And the funniest thing was when Marsha Blackburn asked, well, basically, why don't you know? She's like, man, look, I'm not a biologist, so I guess being a woman is about biology, huh? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And you guys are fantastic. Thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. Couldn't do it without you. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, mainstream media, social media, everywhere. And I couldn't do it without y'all. This is also a podcast, so if you listen to the podcast version, thank you for being there. Give me a 5-star rating, a review, a share, whatever you can. And if you don't know, you can find this podcast on Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Links will always be in the description box below. And of course, shout out to the sponsors, as always, ablmerch.com. I got new merch on the way. It's been ordered. It's getting stitched up right now out here in Tennessee. Okay, so we're going to put that on the store pretty soon. Again, ablmerch.com, ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more. Still going to get the designer, so y'all hang tight if you have reached out to me for that. Also, shout out to my other website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. I write an article for each video I put out, so nobody can never say that I don't provide sources. I don't give context. I give all the context. I gave you the left-wing media, the right-wing media, the centrist, the normie stuff, independent. I give you everything, all my sources, everything on my website, anthonyblogan.com. And if you go to the contact page, you can find my email, my snail mail, and my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY. The letter B, don't get triggered by this, LOGAN.com. And of course, go to my sponsors, BHEDesigns.com, to make these beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. You can find them in the box below. Again, BHEDesigns.com. Also, PatriotPost.us, the best source of news and information anywhere on the internet. Check them out right now in the box. Okay, I got through everybody I wanted to get through, and thank you all for supporting everybody, supporting my websites. Couldn't do it without you. Now, let's get straight to the business, shall we? We got quite a few things to cover. I'm going to start with kind of a softer topic, although I don't have any soft topics. You're talking about Ashley Biden's diary, Babylon B. Well, Babylon B could be a little bit of a soft topic. Matter of fact, let's start with Babylon B, actually. That's probably a good place to start. Now, you guys may know about Babylon B, maybe you don't, but Babylon B is a parody website, and they have some hilarious headlines. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go there right now. I'm going to go there right now to see what kind of articles they have up. Okay. So, again, this is straight parody, and they are known, I got the wrong thing, they're known for being a parody website, and they have been for a very long time. So, the funniest thing I saw over the past few months, maybe the past year, was I saw that a Babylon B article got fact checked on Facebook. It's like, how are you fact checking the parody website? It is a joke. but you're going to fact check comedy routines next. So if Dave Chappelle goes on stage and he says some kind of crazy, ridiculous joke talking about, hamburgers can grow wings and fly, are you going to fact check that? I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing? Basic little things that they say, penny with a hole in it. Are you going to fact check music lyrics? But I'm getting triggered already in the stream, so I digress. The whole point is that the Babylon Bee is a parody website. They make jokes. Things are funny. Okay, you shouldn't have any kind of fact checking on comedy because it's just comedy. It's nothing else. If I crack a joke, I'm not trying to say this is a fact 100% and believe it, write it down, take it to court. No. It's just to make it go a little chuckle, a little ha-ha. That's all. So you see some of the articles right here, right? Babylon Bee writers trying to slowly tunnel out of Twitter jail behind poster of Gina Carano. Another one says, do you know more about basic human biology than Biden's SCOTUS nominee? Take the simple one question quiz. Basic stuff like that. Here's another one. Not so fast. Leah Thomas passed up by a swimmer in a dinghy. And these are not just headlines and memes. There's like a full parody article so you can laugh at it. Personally, I like that kind of humor where it's like not so slapsticky and kind of goofy. I like that kind of comedy too, but I like the more kind of deadpan comedy. Kind of hard to explain. Kind of like nerdy comedy a little bit maybe. I enjoy that. It's funny. So here is the article right here that got Babylon Bee. Again, a parody website, a fun website, not a real news website at all. Here's the article that got them, I guess you would say, blocked or banned from Twitter. So we know about Rachel Levine, right? Rachel Levine is a person that was born as a XY male. That's just a fact. It's not hate speech to say that. Rachel Levine was born as Richard Levine, an XY male. And fun fact, if you go to Wikipedia right now and you search Richard Levine, you won't find Richard, you'll find Rachel. And you won't see any instance of his last name, of his quote unquote dead name, as they call it. When they transition and they become quote unquote women, their old name is dead now. So that is no longer mentioned. It's weird because when I go to Kanye West Wikipedia page, he's now known as Ye, right? Y-E. His old name is still there, Kanye West. It says Ye, formerly known as Kanye Omari West. But when you go to Rachel Levine's page, it only says Rachel and not Richard. So why do you get special treatment because you're LGBT? I mean, come on. We should be treated the same, right? Content, the character, not color, the skin, or gender identity. Is that a thing or nah? But anyway, so here's the particular article that got Babylon Bee blocked from Twitter. And it says Babylon Bee's man of the year is Rachel Levine. It's a joke, right? Just like when I say Bruce Gender, okay? It is simply a joke. That's all. Why is that bad to do? And Twitter said, oh, it's harassment and bullying. Why is it harassment and bullying? And when Clarence Thomas got hospitalized for an infection, I was seeing legit posts talking about hopefully he dies. I did not see those get deleted for hate speech or harassment or bullying. But if you make a joke about quote unquote Rachel Levine, that's somehow wrong. It's either we can make jokes or we can't. It can't be because you're LGBT, you're protected from jokes. That's not how that works at all. Not in at least bit. Even quote unquote Caitlyn Jenner, who I call Bruce Gender, that's my joke name for him. Bruce Gender came out and said that he has the cojones, if you will, without being too X-rated. He has the cojones to say that it's unfair for Leah Thomas to swim against biological XX women. Because look, have you seen Leah Thomas? I mean, okay. Or what's his name? His former name is William, now known as Leah. So you took the name William and remixed it, right? You chopped it up. You chopped it and screwed it. You took the Leah from the center of William and put that as your brand new name. Is that what we're going to do? But anyway, so have you seen this person? I mean, do you know what a endomorph and ectomorph body type? This person is a gigantic ectomorph. Okay, you talking about you looking like you could play basketball right now and dunk without jumping. Let me find the video I have of this person walking off of the, walking from away from the pool. Hold on. So let's go ahead and, so there we go. Look at this. Look at the feet. He's built like me. I'm 6'3", 215 or so pounds. Okay, here's my the Nike slide, right? So you can see the kind of size my foot is. It's like a 13 right here. He could, like, Zim, Zer, Leah could put these on right now and it'll fit like a glove. Like a glove. Look at the feet. Look at this. Hold on. Do you see these shoulders? Look at this. Come on. Come on. Like, let's stop playing games here. This is not fair. This is not fair. Look, I understand you may identify how you identify. I get it. I'm okay. You have the right to feel how you want to feel about yourself. That's your right as a human, to feel how you want to feel. I cannot, I can't legislate your feelings. I can't do that. But what I can do is say, this is unfair. If you're competing against women, I've never seen a woman built like that in my life. In my natural adult life, I've never seen that before. Even like Alayla Ali, a woman, a female knockout artist, these big shoulders, I mean, come on. Come on. Talking about some, I'm on hormones. Hormones ain't gonna shrink your shoulder blades and your chest muscles, huh? This is crazy, man. You built like you have a 32-inch waist and a 46-inch chest. This is stupid. This is stupid. Anybody telling me that it's not, that it's okay and it's fair, you're just not being real. You're lying to people. Very simple. So yeah, the feet humongous, the chest, all of that is crazy. Feel how you want to feel, but let's be fair though. Let's have the women have their own spaces. And you notice how you never see trans men compete against men ever, 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 ever. And if you could find an instance of that, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see something where it wasn't like a charade or something like that. And I've met a trans man before, meaning a biological XX woman who became a man. They had the beard and everything. If you don't really know what a man looks like, you would think from afar that is biological man. But when you write up on this person, they got the physical stature of a woman, about 5'3". It's like, okay, you see me, there's no denying what I am. When I come upon you, I already know what time it is. You have the masculine accoutrements, if you will. You got all that going on, but you still got hips and the height of a woman. When are we going to stop playing games like this, huh? But anyway, I should be able to joke about whatever I want to joke about. If I want to joke about Rachel Levine or Bruce Jenner, and Caitlyn, Bruce, whatever you want to call him, jokes about himself. He says, I have the cojones to admit that that's not right. Matter of fact, let me put it on the screen. I'm gonna put it on the screen so you guys know that it's not me making it up. Hold on. Let me find it right quick. Hold a minute. I'm gonna find that tweet. I'm going to find it. Oh, there we go. Let me see if I could just find that particular thing right there. But yeah, so shout out to anybody that realizes that I forgot really how I started on that whole thing. Oh, Babylon B. Shout out to Babylon B for not taking the tweet down as of yet. I'm not sure if they're back on Twitter, but shout out to them for just being brave and publishing things like this and not being afraid of the mob that are coming against them and cancel them. Let me see if Babylon B's back, actually, while I'm looking for the Caitlyn tweet. Let's see if they are back. Well, as of right now, they're still suspended since March 20th. I don't see any new tweets. So yeah, basically the CEO, Seth Dillon, said, we're not taking that tweet down because if they remove the tweet that the article that I showed you was from, then they can get back, they can come back to Twitter. It'd be like a 12-hour suspension and they'll come back. But they got to delete that tweet. They can't have the tweet up anymore. So they're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to stand on our ground and we're just going to let it rock out. And if they want to keep us suspend it, then it is what it is. We're not going to censor ourselves. I salute them for that. That's a really bold decision to make when Twitter is probably a big source of revenue for them. They get a lot of shares and comments and whatnot on that particular platform. So that's really, really important. Okay. Let me see if I can find this right here. Oh, there we go. I ain't going to read it because, I don't want nobody to flag it, but you guys can see what it says here. At least I have the cojones to stand up for women and girls in sports. This is coming from, quote unquote, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner. My nickname is Bruce Gender. Okay. So shout out to Bruce Gender for keeping it all the way real. When you got what kind of, is this his hair or is it a lace front wig? I don't know what's going on. Let me go ahead and just move on from this story. I'll move on right now from that story because it's getting a little bit weird. And a little bit is an understatement, so I digress seriously on that one. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now let's talk about I want to talk about Ukraine right now because this is kind of like burning a hole in my head. It's burning a hole straight through my skull right now. So Ukraine and the Reddit Legion and all the other so-called volunteers going over there. Now, I want to play a video, actually, because I played some of the video at the start of my pre-recorded, but I want to play more of it and kind of go through it because I want to show you how ridiculous this is. So before I get to the video, if you didn't see my video today or whenever I put that out, there are a bunch of guys and girls going to Ukraine, volunteering to kind of like be mercenaries, meaning they want to fight for Ukraine against Russia. And this is the dumbest thing you can do. I understand the sympathy. I understand that you want to go help and you want to do all that, but really you're damaging yourself. All you're going to do is go die. They're not going to have you out there with any kind of weaponry or armor or nothing. You're going to be cannon fodder. You're going to die instantly. I mean, if you want to go die, if you got a death wish, then go ahead, but you don't have anybody really backing you up. Most you're going to do in Ukraine is maybe get your body when you die. Maybe. That's about it. Maybe if you don't die, they give you some medical treatment, perhaps, if it's available. But what you have are a bunch of people who are untrained, not military, not security, not any kind of public safety person, no police, fire, EMT, nothing. Just regular normies on their couch playing Call of Duty, okay, watching Law and Order talking about, I'm going to go to Ukraine and I'm going to make a difference. I'm a big, strong man with a pretty haircut and tattoos on my face. I'm going to go to Ukraine and make a difference. It's like, look, sir, you don't understand. This is real war right here. You can die. This ain't like you can go over there, take a few selfies on Instagram and then leave like you normally do with food or something like that. Or you go put on a jacket in a clothing store, take a selfie and put it back on the rack. It's not like that. When you go to Ukraine, you can die and it ain't no respawn. Like I said in my video, if it's Call of Duty, you can die, come right back when you respawn. But when you die over there, it's a wrap. They're going to find your body under a pile of rubble and it won't come back to America. Your family won't get any kind of benefits. You're going to be dead and that's it, right? So this whole thing is really, in my opinion, fueled by hatred for Vladimir Putin. It's fueled by xenophobia. And the xenophobia is about hatred of Putin, therefore hatred of Russia and Russians. Which is funny because a lot of Ukrainians are Russian. So, I mean, who do you hate really? Why do you hate? It's because of the media brainwashing you to hate Vladimir Putin. People can't really tell you why they hate Vladimir Putin and their obsession with him. And when they do talk about Vladimir Putin, I'm like, okay, well, how about this guy over there? How about Xi Jinping? You want to go to East Turkestan, a.k.a. the Xinjiang province, and free the Uyghurs from the concentration camps? You want to go over there? You want to go liberate Hong Kong from China? You want to go fight for Taiwan when they invaded South China Sea? You want to go fight in Syria? You want to go fight in Afghanistan? You want to go fight in Iraq, Kuwait, Somalia, Libya, etc.? You want to go fight over there? How about go fighting in your own little street? You want to go to Chicago and fight in the gang wars over there? Oh, but you want to go to Ukraine and die behind Vladimir Putin and your hatred for him that's been fueled by the media. How dumb is that? But I'm getting triggered yet again, so I digress. Let's play some of this video. I want to show you the ridiculousness behind it all, right? Let's check it out.
Hello, yeah, we've come to...
And this, from the very beginning, it was dumb. Whoever put it together did a very good job. This was a great editing job. So shout out to the person who did this, right? So let's go ahead and... So these guys are in UK. Now, do you see this guy? First of all, let's talk about the drip. The drip is beautiful, right? The drip is beautiful. You got on all white. It's spotless, okay, head to toe. Look at the nice little beard shape up. That's nice. Nice little pretty tattoo in the back of his head. You look well manicured. You're like an ornament in the curio cabinet, sir. And you're going to fight? Oh, you're big and strong, but you're soft as paper towels. Okay, I can tell that right now. You got soft all over you. Look at your pretty outfit. You're like a woman right now.
Hello, yeah, we've come to join the Ukrainian army or whatever they're called.
They're not even sure of the army's name, but they're utterly convinced of the cause.
I don't know the army's name, but I want to sign up. You don't even know where you're going. You don't even know. You can mess around and get straight sent to the front with no weapon or nothing. You will die and don't even care. Sir, you look like you do very well for yourself. You probably smoke hookah on the weekends. Might got a little girlfriend or something, got a little bit of money in your pocket. Why go to Ukraine and die? You have your whole life ahead of you. You're probably about 32 years old. Your whole life is ahead of you. Why throw it away right now for no reason? Ukraine not going to win that war. You will make a difference. You'll be able to get on TV with Sky News, maybe on Instagram. You might get a few likes on your Instagram posts, but you can't take your likes with you to the hospital for blood transfusions or to repair that hole in your head when you get shot or drone striked in the middle of the night in your barracks or wherever you're sleeping at in Ukraine.
This is Leon from Surrey.
They look like they need help. We're young, strong, fit men. We can help, so why not?
Outside Ukraine's embassy in London, a steady stream of men come to find out how they can join up to fight.
You can send email, a letter for this address, and he contact with you and said what you must do.
Okay.
Brian from Kent used.
It's like, what's the purpose? I don't understand. But hold on, let's see this part right here. Let's back up a little bit because this right here is even crazier. Hold on.
What you must do.
Okay.
Brian from Kent used to be in the Territorial Army.
And you're prepared to go to Ukraine and fight?
Yeah, I can get on the flight tomorrow.
Do you see this man? Do you see him? Hold on. Let's rewind because you guys could be watching on the you might not be watching it the audio, just audio only. You may not see the video, but let's rewind for those who are watching the video. One more time.
What you must do.
Okay.
Brian from Kent used to be in the Territorial Army.
And you're prepared to go to Ukraine and fight?
Yeah, I can get on the flight tomorrow.
Brian from Kent got to be about 75 years old. At least. Sir, please stop. You are a whole papaw right now. Go play with your grandkids and go, play bingo or golf or whatever you got going on, sir. You have no business going into a hot war zone. No business. You may have been in the army or whatever back in the day, but you're not Ukrainian. You are extremely elderly. You have no purpose in being over there. What are you thinking about? Where is your brain power at, sir? Come on, man. This ain't right. This is not right.
And if you don't mind asking, how old are you?
I'm 60, which means I'm just about within the age range.
You look about 75 years old. 60, 70. How about 70? Add about 15 years on top of that.
Accept.
We see people from the UK, Poland, Hungary and beyond, the seeds of a volunteer army to fight against the Russians.
You're Iranian and you want to join up to fight for Ukraine. Why do you want to do that?
Because I hate Putin.
I'd like to take
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Why do you want to help Ukraine? Is it about Ukraine or is it about Vladimir Putin? Because if you're going to fight for Ukraine, let's be clear, it should be about Ukraine's sovereignty and their nationhood, their independence. It shouldn't be about your hatred of somebody else. So you're going to go help Ukraine because you don't like Putin. What kind of logic is that? You're going to go die because you don't like Vladimir Putin? You can surely just say something like that without having to go to Ukraine to prove it.
a pocket knife, a stove.
War waits for no one, and by mid-afternoon, conscious they need to move fast.
Do you see his watch and all that? Come on, man. Look at your watch. Look at your drip. What are you seriously going over there? Or are you just on a show for TV and just displaying what they have? Are you part of Sky News? Look at your drip. I mean, this is not a thoughtful person. You have this Rolex on your arm, all gold. I don't even have no watch like that. You have a Native American on your arm. You got all kind of stuff happening. You like you probably some kind of Middle Eastern. You're from UK accent with a native elder from America on your arm. You're all over the place. You don't know what's going on. So I see why he wants to go to Ukraine now. You're just going from one cause to the next.
Catch up again with Leon and his friend Tom, who also plans to travel to Ukraine.
Body armour goes in there, which protects your chest.
By now, they've got hold of some old kit borrowed from a friend who's an ex-Marine.
He does want it back, so let's hope we make it back alive so I can give it back to him. As soon as you get off the train in Ukraine, your life is on the line.
Okay, so you're at your house, I suppose, right? This is the same guy with the drip. You have a gym. What it says, a physique warehouse gym. So you probably got a small business, nice house. You got a baby in a picture on the back of you. You got a gaming chair. I don't understand why you want to go to Ukraine. Is it just you're just trying to promote your gym? It has to be, because there's no reason for you to go there. You got everything going for you right now, sir.
You're not guaranteed to make it back, especially not in one piece.
Have you told your family?
Our family are upset. Obviously it's a hard time, but if I'm this scared and this apprehensive, and what are the people over there going through?
Neither of these men have any military experience. Tom runs a dog care business. Are you afraid?
Of course I am. I think I would be silly if I wouldn't be afraid.
It's not just volunteer fighters joining Ukraine's war effort. Supporters are gathering donations to send to Ukraine, essentials for civilians and the front line.
I'm extremely proud of our nation. I'm extremely proud that we inspire other people to come and help us out.
Okay, so that's pretty much that right there. I mean, this is silly, but you know what? Like I said, it's all about propaganda from the U.S. and U.K. against Vladimir Putin and the Russian Federation. That's all it's about. You heard the one guy say it when he was asked, why are you going over to Ukraine? I hate Putin. An Iranian guy who hates Putin. He's been listening to BBC and ABC and now all the other alphabet letter news outlets about this. This is driving it. And then there was the girl who allegedly got hit by a landmine over there. And the Reddit story, to get back to Reddit right quick. So the Reddit Legion, what happened was this. Apparently there was a subreddit of guys and girls who wanted to go to Ukraine to help the effort against Vladimir Putin. Okay, like it's not Russia, like a country versus another country. But anyway, they want to go to Ukraine to help. And some of these guys and girls actually went. Now, I think a lot of them came from UK. And what they did was they go to like a training facility in Ukraine, and it's a secret location, apparently. The enemy shouldn't know about it. But they're in a training facility, and they're still on Reddit. They're still going through their phones, scrolling, Snapchat and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. They're still active on social media. Listen, it's a hot war zone, and you are scrolling Reddit. What are you doing? A hot war zone. Mortars are falling. Boom, boom, bang, bang. All of that around you. But you like, yo, you know what? I got duck lips. Sir. So here's what happened. The Russians, of course, they have surveillance equipment, right? And they were able to detect cell phone signals coming from the +44 country code as UK. We have +1 in America. They got +44 over there. So they were able to detect the +44 country code, right? Now, what I say? I got distracted by that. But anyway, so when they saw the +44 country code, they're like, okay, we got a bunch of UK mercenaries in here, or they shouldn't be here. Why are these UK people here when this is Russia versus Ukraine? So of course, Russia launched an air raid on a particular location where the cell phone signal was picked up and everybody inside died. or it might have been a handful of survivors. I think out of 200 people in that place, out of 200, 20 survived. So it wasn't just the British guys that died. It was the Ukrainians that died too. So it's like you're putting even the Ukrainians in harm's way. You're not doing yourself any good. You're going to die if you're over there volunteering from some foreign country. And you also going to make the Ukrainians have a more difficult time because now they got to try to find your body. Now they got to try to get you medical care. They got supplies that are very limited, and it's got to go to you because you over there trying to play Call of Duty, LARPing, Escape from Tarkov, all of that in real life. Meanwhile, when you get scraped on the pavement, when you get mortar blasted or drone striked, now they got to try to tend to you and your corpse. It's crazy. A whole airstrike, boom. And them jets ain't playing no games. Them super loud jets. You hearing that jet and you hear that bomb afterward. By the time you hear when you hear the bomb, it's too late. The jet, the noise is going to be kind of delayed. When you hear that jet though, it's going to be a wrap. Okay, so they don't understand that. They don't think that they're going to actually get killed. Oh, I'm an American. I'm a UK citizen. They're not going to hurt me. They're going to hurt you first. I did that video about the guy from, what was that? Congo, who was a refugee in Ukraine, who was leaving and didn't want to fight. And he was like, look, if they see me out there, they're going to kill me first. It's the same thing with these people from UK. It's not even the color thing. It's like, you're not Ukrainian. Let's kill you first. You shouldn't be here. What are you doing here? Let's kill him first. Is he a mercenary? Is he from NATO? All right, let's go ahead and just ice him out the way so we won't have any interference. UK, y'all got to go. Congo, you got to go. American, you sound like Tom Cruise in the voice. You got to go. Ukrainian versus Russian. Ukrainians, they'll go last. But if you're a foreigner, you go first. That's what's happening right now. So yeah, shout out to the Redditors. Hopefully the upvotes were worth it. Hopefully dying was worth getting 115 upvotes. That's kind of a bad deal, ain't it? Dead 115 upvotes. Dead 115 upvotes. Maybe if it went viral, it'd be better. I don't know, but I digress. Yep. Hey man, if you hear that jet, it's a wrap. It's over. It is over. You know, being from Virginia, I know all them big loud jet sound by Oceana. Oh man, crazy. When you hear that, man, you just prepare to die. And matter of fact, ain't no preparation. At that point, it's already over with. So yeah, I'll take calls a little bit later. What's that, Danny Hayes? I'll take calls at about 9:30. I'll let you know when the phone lines are open. Right now, I'm just talking about a few of the topics. So Ashley Biden's diary was confirmed. Now, oh, and also before I move on from the Ukraine story, the funniest part was the old man had on the face mask. It's like, sir, you scared of the virus, but you want to go, you're scared of the virus. It's invisible floating in air because you might die from that. But going to Ukraine in an active war zone, you're going to a gun fight. That's not scary. You don't have to go to the gunfight, but you're choosing to go to the gunfight, but you want to wear a mask to protect from getting the virus, which you probably won't even die from. 99.99% survival rate. Even for an old man, you still got a 95, 96% survival rate. But if you go to Ukraine, the chances of dying are much higher than that. So the logic is non-existent because, again, they're brainwashed by the media. You got to hate Vladimir Putin. You got to hate Russians. Be xenophobic. Russia. Okay, I'm going to go and die behind that. But yet, I keep my mask on the whole time when I'm talking on it. I'm outside in the wide open, but I got my mask on. And I'm covering my nose, too, because I don't want to get the bug. Did you guys see that? Hold on. 1 second. Let's go back to it for a moment. And then I promise I'll go back to the whole Ashley Biden kerfuffle. Let me put it on the screen right quick because you got to see it to believe it. Hold on.
Hello, yeah, we've come to...
And here's the whole thing. So check it out. Look at this. You're about 70 years old with a face mask on, talking about some, and you have on Ukraine colors. the blue and gold, blue and yellow. Tell me something. I'm going to fight. Volunteer fighter. How about fighting that virus? How about fighting your fear of going maskless in outdoor settings? Take them dark glasses off because you're trying to block the virus that way too. Like the tint on your goggles is going to prevent the virus from penetrating around the sides. Same thing with your ridiculous mask. But anyway, I mean, is it just me or was that crazy? I think you guys feel where I'm coming from on that. Okay, now let's go to Ashley Biden. So Ashley Biden, you guys know, this is Joe Biden's daughter. I think he had 3 kids. At least 3 kids. Bo died. He had brain cancer. Then you have Hunter. We know about Hunter, the most famous crackhead in the world, Hunter Biden. Okay, he is right there at the very top. Like right now, as far as crackheads are concerned, famous crackheads, he's number 1 right now today. The hottest crackhead in the world, Hunter Biden. We know about him already. But now you have Ashley Biden, who is just as screwed up as Hunter is. Now, the question I have before I get into the diary, before I get into Hunter, what kind of kids has Joe Biden raised? These are adults now. They're not little kids. They're like my age and older. I think Ashley's like 35 or 36. Hold on, let me make sure how old she is. Ashley Biden age 40 actually. Wow. So she's 40, and how old is Hunter? 52. So they're older than I am. Okay. Hunter is almost as old as like my parents. Almost. Probably about 10 years off, but not too much older. You know, I got aunts and whatnot and uncles that's younger than him. Put it to you that way. Okay. And I got, gray hair in my beard when I grow it out. These are not little kids. So when the media say, or they were talking about it in 2020, talking about, oh, leave the kids alone, leave these grown adults alone, leave these 40-somethings alone. I mean, come on. They're like beyond middle-aged. They're fully grown. They got kids and grands and everything else probably. What are we talking about? But anyway, so Hunter Biden, we know about him. Now, Ashley Biden is his daughter. Ashley is screwed up. She had a diary that was left somewhere I'll talk about in a minute, and then it was recovered by Project Veritas. And then remember I did a video on that. Project Veritas got raided. They raided James O'Keefe's house. They raided someone else's house, and it might have been Spencer. I forget his last name. And they raided Project Veritas' New York City office, Manhattan office. They raided that because they were linked to Ashley Biden's diary. Now they didn't say that Project Veritas. Well, pardon me. They didn't say that it was confirmed that it was Ashley Biden's diary. They were trying to accuse Project Veritas of stealing it, and they are right now. They said they stole it. They brought it across state lines, all this, that, and the third, but that's not what happened. Let's go back and start from the beginning. So the diary was left at a place back in June 2020. So Joe becomes the DNC nominee for president, right? So Ashley is in Florida, Delray Beach, Florida, recovering from an addiction. Red flag right there. You got a whole fiend. She's a fiend just like her brother. I mean, drugs running their family. Why not? You got a ridiculous father like Joe Biden. You might want to get high too. But anyway, so she's recovering from an addiction in Delray Beach, Florida at a friend, quote unquote, a male friend's house. It might have been a rental house. It might have been his house where he lived with her. I don't know. But she was there in that house living there. So what happened was when Joe, the father, gets the nomination, she goes back to Philly, that area, which is where they're from. Wilmington is like in the metro area of Philly. She leaves, goes to Philly, and she's like, okay, I'll be back in the fall. I'm not really sure why they do that during the election cycle, but regardless of what, she leaves, and she leaves some items behind at this rental house. She has some clothing, maybe, and her diary. Now, somebody else moved in to, yeah, exactly, 876 Van Red, 81 million votes for this man, that raised these ridiculous kids. But anyway, she goes back to Philly during the summertime, and another girl moves into this spot. She apparently was a conservative or a quote unquote Trump supporter. She was a single mom, down on her luck, had a couple of kids. And before I continue, what kind of house is this? Is this like a rescue home for adult women? I don't understand what's going on. Is it a shelter? I'm not judging. I'm just asking the question. But anyway, so she's in the house, trying to get everything back on track. And she finds a diary, of course. She went through the house. She's living there. She finds a diary. So, and this is all alleged, by the way. This is what the New York Times says. So she then calls her friend from social media that she knows is also kind of conservative like her. So they have the plan to try and sell the diary. The guy has a connection to Donald Trump Jr. fundraiser organizer. So they go to the fundraiser in Florida where Trump Jr. was at, and they're showing a diary of people in the fundraiser. They're showing it to him, the physical diary, they're showing it. I'm not sure if Trump Jr. saw it, but it was shown in the party. I don't know who saw it specifically, but anyway, it was shown. So, I know who did see it. The fundraiser's daughter, the organizer's daughter saw it, and that person contacted Project Veritas. So that's how Project Veritas get involved. They get the call from the fundraiser's daughter. They get involved. They're trying to buy it for 40 grand. Okay. 40,000 even. They're trying to buy it. So the single mom, hard on her luck, and the friend, they leave Florida with the diary and fly to New York City to meet Project Veritas. So the whole taking across state lines thing, the couple did that allegedly, not Project Veritas. Project Veritas did not bring it across state lines. They went across state lines to check to see if it was real, to investigate, but it didn't have the diary from Florida to New York. So they go to New York, they try to authenticate it, and one of the guys that might have been from Project Veritas or a friend or an affiliate, this person gets Ashley Biden's number somehow. So they call Ashley Biden and they say, hey, we have the diary that you left in Florida, and there's some pretty strange things in here. You want to recover that? You want to be able to come get it? And she says, yes, allegedly. I'm not sure if she did get it, but I think the whole thing was to try and authenticate it. Because if she got it and confirmed that it was hers, now we know it's real. Now, the diary was purchased by Project Veritas for the $40,000, but they didn't publish it on their own. They decided, okay, we're not going to put it out. We're not going to publish it. But apparently somebody from Project Veritas leaked it to a website called The National File. And that's on my website. It'll be in the box on an article about that particular subject. So that's how the article, that's how the diary got out to the public. Now, in the diary was some really strange things. A lot of abuse, inappropriate stuff from her father, drug use, and just a girl lost. A tragic girl lost. It was really sad. But the craziest thing was, in my opinion, was the whole thing about showering with her dad at an age that's too old to be doing that. Now, I never was in any kind of bath with my dad that I can recall at all. It was always my mom. When I'm talking about when I'm a toddler, like 2 or 3 years old, like a little baby, like a kid, okay? Or you be in a tub with your cousins and whatnot, playing in the bubbles, playing with little toys and stuff. When you a little boy or a little girl, but not to be of showering age. What I mean by that is I was always taking baths when I was a little kid because I can't really reach all this stuff properly. You're taking baths when you were a little kid. But once you get to be a little bit older, you get bigger. Now it's showering time, probably like 8, 9, 10 years old, right around that time. So if you're of showering age, there's no reason for your dad to be in the shower with you, male or female, or your mom or anybody else. You can take care of yourself. You don't need them to be there with you. If you're a little toddler, a baby goo goo gaga, or a toddler running around, throwing stuff, scribbling on walls, you know what I mean, flinging doo-doo around, that's a different story. Not to be 10 years old doing that. And she wrote in the diary that that's probably inappropriate that her dad did that to her. So we see what's going on. We see a pattern, don't we, from Joe Biden? We see how he is with little kids, sniffing kids. Like, I saw one clip that was really gross. a little kid walked by. He was locked on the kid. Something's wrong with Joe when it comes to that. We see what's going on. Maybe his kids are so messed up because they experienced that kind of behavior in some kind of way, form, or fashion. I'm not saying that he did do that because I can't make that allegation. All I'm saying is that you just add 2 and 2 together, get your own result. If 2 + 2 is 4, then it is what it is. It's not my fault that math is math. Okay, if it adds up, it adds up. But yeah, the guy's a weirdo. His kids are crazy. The diary was confirmed, and so was something about his laptop within days of each other. The laptop was confirmed like a day before the diary was confirmed by the same paper, New York Times. But originally, remember when you couldn't even post the laptop story, or else you would get banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook, maybe even banned from the internet? It was crazy. Although it came out from New York Post, a very old paper, been around since 1800, 220 years now, owned by News Corp, Rupert Murdoch, the same guy who owns Fox News and a bunch of other stuff. It's owned by him, a very well-known paper, reputable source, but yet you couldn't even post it on Twitter. Then they want to come back 2 years later talking about, oh, we're sorry, oops, it was real the whole time. We knew that. It's like, okay, I see certain little emails and whatnot that could be doctored, but I'm seeing Hunter Biden on videotape smoking crack, looking like Pookie on New Jack City, but the white version. I see him right there on the tape. How you gonna say it's not him? I'm looking at him. It's called gaslighting. They gaslit us for years on this, but we knew what it was from the jump. And you know what? This is a further explanation why we don't trust the mainstream media. We don't trust them. We don't like them because they lie, they gaslight, they manipulate, they mislead, misdirect. They use wormy kind of lawyery language. And speaking of wormy lawyery language, let's talk about the Supreme Court Justice nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Now, speaking of predators, Ketanji Brown Jackson was very soft on child predators for some reason and was kind of struggling to explain why, using all these big, crazy, $20 words that mean nothing, word salad, trying to answer questions in a really kind of squirmy way, trying to get out of it. I hate when lawyers do that. Shout out to all the lawyers out there who don't speak that way normally, squirmy and trying to answer things and misdirect. I don't like that. Be direct with your communication. I don't care if you are a lawyer, but I don't want to really hear that. I understand why you want to speak that way, but I know it when I hear it. I know you're just being intentionally vague and misleading and misdirecting because of a political narrative, because you got to protect yourself. But this person should not be confirmed regardless of political affiliation. I mean, there's all kinds of red flags. Critical race theory. Now, Ted Cruz was grilling her today about CRT. Aside from the child stuff, we know about that. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole right now, so I digress. But we know that's bad enough. But then critical race theory, CRT. Now, Ted Cruz was asking Ketanji about her views on CRT. And she was saying that, well, as far as I know, it's only taught in law school. It's like, okay, let's stop playing games. You have books by Ibram X. Kendi, a.k.a. Henry Rogers. Like I said, paper tower model name. You have books by Ibram X. Kendi in Georgetown Day School, which is where she is on the board of. It's a D.C. private school. You're on the board of it. They have CRT books in the library. So you don't know about that? You're just totally oblivious to all that? That's just going to fly right past you? You don't know what's going on with that? I mean, come on. Let's be for real. Let's stop playing games. And then it was a whole thing about, what was it about? Something about sentencing. I forget what that was. Oh, talking about CRT explicitly in a speech. Talking about when you have sentencing that's dictated by myriad factors, CRT being one of them. And she said that, well, I was speaking about sentencing policy, not necessarily CRT. But again, she was the VP of the sentencing board. So if you are the VP of the sentencing board and you're talking about CRT being part of sentencing, you don't know about that? You're the VP of the commission. Why don't you know about that? You don't know about these CRT books in the school? You're on the border of the school. You don't know about that? How do you not know about that? It's kind of like the whole I don't recall type thing back in the OJ days. Oh, I don't recall. I don't know. Come on, ma'am. Like, I was born at night, not last night. Be all the way real with me. How about that? But yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson is not going to be a good pick for Supreme Court. Definitely super woke. Believes in Roe v. Wade as a quote unquote law of the land, all that kind of stuff. It should be a typical liberal pick. Okay, typical liberal pick. And also affirmative action hire. I said it. Affirmative action hire. Now, she could be qualified as far as a leftist is qualified, not in the way that I want her to be qualified. Her political views are not in line with mine, but she could be qualified from their perspective on that side. However, Joe Biden said, I want to get a black woman in here to be the next Supreme Court justice, and he's trying to do that right now. But that shouldn't be a qualification. Your race or gender shouldn't be a qualification. Okay, it's all about what you think on the issues. Are you a good judge? Will you be able to adjudicate some kind of way fairly? Are you going to be able to make good decisions? That's what it should be about. This is a lifetime post. Don't play politics with it. You see what I'm saying? Don't play around talking about, well, we got to put this person to that color, this person that. Don't do that. Just put in the right guy for the job. It's simple. It's very simple. But, you know, people don't want to, they want to just cater to their base. And it's not even about black folks that they want to cater to or quote unquote people of color. It's the white liberals. They love that kind of stuff. Okay. Your average person in the street doesn't even really know about what's going on. They don't even know who that is. Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is that? They don't know who that is. And even if they posted something like that on the Shade Room, for example, it wouldn't get any traction. If you don't know, the Shade Room is like a black Instagram page, real popular. It wouldn't get any traction. You put that right next to a story about Moneybag Yo, that'd get 10 million times more views than Ketanji Brown Jackson because people don't really care about that kind of stuff. All this, oh, she's the first black woman. They don't care. The white liberal loves that stuff. You guys are woke. You guys are my people. Stand for Ukraine. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go die in Ukraine. And right before I get drone strikes, I'm going to get a selfie, right? The bomb is right here on top of your head. The bomb is right here, but I got a selfie right here. My phone survived. My data got put on the iCloud, so my memory lives on. I'm dead, and I got a great selfie. That's kind of where they are, in my humble opinion. The average black person don't even really know. The average black person is not even really caring about this. Not really. Some of the Ketanji Brown Jacksons of the world, they care about it, but a lot of us, it's not even really a thing. Who that? Who is Ketanji? Why she got two last names? What's going on with that? Not even hyphenated. What's happening? But I digress away from that. The whole point is that Ketanji Brown Jackson is not going to be a good Supreme Court justice nomination, not in the least bit. But the good news is that her nomination won't disrupt the court, I don't believe, because I think Breyer is resigning, and Breyer is a Democrat, so it'd be Democrat plus another Democrat. It wouldn't be a conservative leaving and a liberal replaces them. Shout out to Trump for putting in 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 Supreme Court picks before he left. 3, that's humongous. Changed the court, solidified the court. I mean, that was really big. Okay, you're right about that, Greg Brown. Nor the average white person. The average person in general, the average normie walking around does not even know about politics. You know, they don't even know. You're talking about conservative, liberal, to like, what? They don't really know. And that's fine because the average normie is just not going to know that. You know, and it's part of my job to educate everybody about what's going on because they don't have time like me to just read this all day. Then they got to do other things with their life, right? Rather than being locked in like myself. All right, and let's get to some more here. Did I get to Babylon B, Ukraine? I got to everything I wanted to get to, didn't I? Wow, I zoomed right through it. Hold on, I got a few videos here I want to show you guys on the Twitters. And let's go ahead and get to it. Hold on. Matter of fact, don't want to play that Ketanji Brown Jackson clip. I think maybe I don't want to play that one. I think you guys already saw that, when she was talking about, I don't know what a woman is. Matter of fact, let's play that right quick, actually. So an example of why she wouldn't be a good pick is right here. And shout out to Marsha Blackburn, my senator from the great state of Tennessee. All right, let's go ahead and play it.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this.
Why is that so complicated? Is it because it's a lot of politics going on behind that question? Is it because you got guys like Leah Thomas talking about I'm a woman, so you can't say what a woman is? It should be pretty simple what a woman is, but I guess that is not a that's not really something that we gotta talk about. We can't bring that up, huh? So hold on, let me go and play it again.
Context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the law and I decide.
Well,
so I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about. Just last week, an entire generation of young girls watched as our taxpayer-funded institutions permitted a biological man to compete and beat a biological woman.
Now, like I said, that right there will go to the Supreme Court. I mean, people say, well, the girls, they got to protest. That's not going to get it done. You're talking about trying to fight the NCAA, the LGBT organizations. It's a lot of lawsuits, a lot of court time, a lot of years spent fighting this battle. It shouldn't be that way, but here we are. And you know what was the final straw, or the thing that brought the levee wide open and let the floodgates open, was gay marriage. When that happened, it was over. I'm not even saying that I'm necessarily against somebody being gay and married. Not necessarily. I mean, to a certain extent I am, but not really. That's not necessarily the issue. The issue is that there was a certain, I say it all the time, there's got to be that thing in that taboo space. It's got to be there, because if it's not there, what's going to happen is, like just like weed. When they legalized weed, I knew that there was going to be a domino effect, because that thing in that taboo space, weed being kind of legal but kind of illegal, when you take it out of the taboo space and you move it into the mainstream, then you got to replace that taboo space with something else. So now it's like, okay, we're going to put right there in that taboo space to where it's kind of legal, but it's kind of illegal. Oh, how about crack cocaine? How about that? How about meth? How about heroin? And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse to where it'll become normal to smoke weed outside like it's nothing. Like every day I drive around, I'm smelling weed smoke. I'm smelling weed smoke like it's a whole burnt up Christmas tree on top of your car. I can smell it. You understand? So what I don't want to smell is crack smoke again in my life. I don't want to smell no crack smoke. I don't want to smell heroin smoke. I don't want to see needles. And this is where California is right now. This is how it happened. You have a domino effect of gradual things culturally that happen. Oh, a little bit of weed ain't no problem. Okay, now what's next? A little bit of heroin ain't no problem. It's okay. They have a disease. It's an illness. And before you know it, and then also the whole thing about camping. Oh, they need to have somewhere to live. Housing's unaffordable. Now you got a whole block full of camps, a whole block full of crack and cocaine and needles and heroin and weed and everything else. And you trying to get to your house you didn't pay $1 million for because of the crazy taxes to pay for all this stuff. You are getting doo-doo thrown at you by the person on the street that you pay for tax money. You pay for this guy to be a dope fiend on the street with tax money. How does he repay you? Doo-doo flinging. Boom, right in your head. And you flee California. You flee that kind of stuff to Texas and bring the exact same policy and feelings from Cali to like it ain't going to follow you. This is why Austin is like a little California enclave, because they brought that same kind of mentality from California to Texas in one spot. California West, I mean, California East, California Southeast, okay, California Tex. It's a slippery slope. Like that's 100% real. I saw it. I could have seen it happening. I called it. I knew it would happen. California is an example. That's what happens. And when you try to adopt some of the California rules, it'll just go downhill. Okay. Now, I'm not here. The weed heads, please don't call me. If you smoke weed, don't call me tonight talking about weed is great, man. Don't do that. I don't even care. If you want to smoke crack, then go for it. Weed, whatever. All I'm saying is when you go down a slippery slope of just letting stuff happen, you get California. Now, if you enjoy California, then that's fine. Personally, I like to walk on the beach without having a needle in my foot or something like that. I enjoy that kind of experience. That's really fun to me. But if you think differently, then that's fine too. But I digress. Let's go ahead and move away from the drugs topic. I don't want the fiends to call me. No dope fiends call me, please. I don't want it. I promise I don't. But moving on, here's something else. The whole teachers thing. This is really big in California too. Remember I said about how they had a trans review in kindergarten? Remember I said that? Where it was a bunch of parents, and they realized that in their kindergarten class, their kids had been exposed to a little boy or a little girl, I forget which one, go in the bathroom and come back as a different gender. Okay, when that happened, the whole the PTA meeting was off the hook. Every mom was in there furious. But here's how it happened. Look at this. You see the meme right in front of you. So at the top, you have old school teachers. When you were a kid, if you're my age, you got kind of like the Meemaw, kind of like the more plainer looking younger woman. Great teachers. Matter of fact, her right there, I had her, like, she looked just like that. And I'll never forget, I was in 4th grade. It was a weird memory. Like, you have memories when you were a kid, randomly. I was in the classroom, and I did a Michael Jackson spin a few times. I was Michael Jackson that day. You understand what I'm saying? That's who I identified as when I was in the 4th grade, Michael Jackson. So I'm doing Michael Jackson spin. She's like, stop spinning, Anthony. I remember that. She looked just like that right there. Okay, just like that, 100%. The same type of frock type flowery print, and the same, she was white, like blonde hair. I'll never forget it. Now, here we have today's teachers at the bottom looking like I can't even describe it. They look like caricatures of humans. If aliens were to mock humanity, they would look like current day teachers. That's what they look like. These are regular, normal people at the very top, old school teachers. At the bottom, you have ridiculousness. All kind of color hair, ridiculous outfits, and don't know what gender they are. And you know what they are? They're immature. They're very immature. They're like overgrown children. In their mind, they're like 5 years old, still trying to carry out fantasies. Like, I thought when I was about 8 years old, I'm Michael Jackson, right? I'm going to dance like him. I'm going to sing like him. I'm going to do all that when I'm 8 because I'm a little boy, right? And little boys do stuff like that. But they are 26 years old thinking that they are still like 8, 9, 10 years old, not fully developed yet. That's what's happening in my opinion. But anyway, the meme says, for the old school teachers, quote, hope everybody had a good recess. It's time for math. At the bottom, the new teachers, quote, whiteness is a privilege. Now, who's ready to hear about sexuality? Exactly. Thank you to all the good teachers out there. Shout out to you, Ball Brad. See you, man. Shout out to all the good teachers, all the wholesome people that don't want to go around here talking about call me Zerzim, Zir, all kind of ridiculous stuff. The main things, what are the 3 R's? The main things, reading, writing, arithmetic. Those are the 3 things we care about. Nothing else. Those are the most important things. If you're talking about race, religion, and reproduction in kindergarten, that's not where we're going to go. We're not going to do that. So yeah, shout out to everybody in the building tonight. We got quite a few of you guys in the building. I got super chats on deck. I'm gonna get to those right quick, and then we get to the calls a little bit later. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I'll get to that in just a few minutes, but first, super chats on deck, and we're going to get rocking and rolling. So y'all just hang tight. Hold on 1 second here. Let me go to the make sure I got everything the way I want it. And again, shout out to all the good teachers. We need more of you guys because we're being infiltrated by the wokesters, people that just want to try to brainwash children. That's the main thing. All right, shout out to Apple, who says RIP Matthew Perna, victim DOJ malicious prosecution. Also, God bless J6 MAGA Patriots in DC jail solitary. Josh Foss says, what's up, ABL? I love how when Blackburn asked, do you agree with RBG when she said men and women are different? Affirmative action Jackson. Hilarious. I'm using that one. I'm still on that right now from you. Affirmative action Jackson responds, quote, I don't know. I have to look into the specifics of that case. It's like they're different. They are different. Let's not act like they're not. Hold on 1 second here. Let me go ahead and do this. All right. Shout out to Apple, who says, ABL, have you heard Kamala's significance of passage of time speech? It's mental level stuff. Check it out. It will change your life. I think I did kind of see that momentarily. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Why did they not give her a speechwriter? Because she goes out there and just kind of riffs. But she's not a very good riffer. The riffing is not riffing at all. Hold on 1 second here. Let me get to, there we go. So here we have Kamala Harris, and the speech is called Passage of Time. Okay, this is going to get Tony Award, Oscar Award, Emmy Award, Grammy, Golden Globe, all of that good stuff. It's going to get an NAACP Award, a BET Award, everything else, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful poem. Let's check it out.
The governor and I, and we were all doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
What was that? What in the world was that? Did she mess up? Did she read that improperly? I mean, all I heard was passage of time. That's all I heard. I didn't hear any of the words in between it. All I heard was passage of time. That's it. How about y'all? I heard that about 15 times in 30 seconds. What in the world was that, Kamala? This is our vice president. This ain't just a normie giving the speech. It'd be different if it was a person just from the audience. Hey, speech, speech, speech. And they go up there and fumble like that. This is a whole vice president. How do you get to be vice president and you can't give a speech at all? You have speech writers, teleprompters, and you drop that goose egg, you drop that nugget. What in the world's happening here? I mean, you're talking about 5,000 IQ. Good grief. What in the world? But I'll move on. Thank you to Apple, who says, ABL, have you already read that one? Thank you to Laura VF, who says, you were so appreciated. Thank you for that. Thank you to Doug Ripley, who says, is daylight savings time really gone? Well, it's actually here. I think when you fall back, they remove it. I don't know how it works, but yes, we are in the daylight savings time. Thank you to Texas RC Noob for their donation. Thank you to Apple, who says, should GOP vote down nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson? Of course, they should not vote for her, and it should be uniform. Also, Hillary got the virus, asked for movie recommendations. Also, Hillary got trolled with 13 Hours Benghazi movie. So I guess she got the bug and is quarantining. What are you still doing quarantining? That ain't going to do nothing. What's the purpose? You know, you ain't got nothing but the flu, allegedly. So she asked for movie recommendations while, I guess, quarantine. And they said 13 Hours of Benghazi movie, hilarious. Also, RIP Chris Stevens, Steve Smith, Todd Wood, Glenn Doherty. How many chin-ups can you do before you max out? Not very many. I ain't gonna reveal that right now. It's kind of paltry. But once I get my max up, I'll tell you then. How about that? Apple also said, "Ebby, you like ice cream or Rita porridge?" Not ice cream. Cream of wheat or porridge toppings. Well, I've never had porridge. That's some United Kingdom stuff. That's UK Crown stuff. I never had porridge. That's like something you read in the book. That's like a old Harry Potter or one of those books. Please, sir, can I have some more? I never had porridge before. I've had cream of wheat now, cream of wheat and oatmeal. I prefer, or that's probably the wrong comparison. Cream of wheat is more akin to grits, I would say. I don't like grits. I said that one time at a table full of some, country family, and it was like everybody was like, I said, man, I don't like grits. Like it was like 8 people, they all went like this. they were completely shocked. But no, I'm not a fan of grits. Now, I do like those fried grit sticks. What are those called? I don't know what they're called. But anyway, I like those. But I don't like grits in the bowl normally. But cream of wheat is better than I've not had. But I don't eat porridge, so cream of wheat or oatmeal. But grits, I can't do nothing with it. Well, brown sugar, exactly, Jay. Cream of wheat with brown sugar. Thank you to Pete Sangria, who says, if Leah Thomas is a woman, then Pete Rose didn't bet on baseball. He should be in the Hall of Fame. There you go. Exactly. If Leah can swim, then Pete can go to the Hall of Fame. How about that? Barry Bonds, too. Oh, it wasn't even my black card, NKM, because it was a white guy, too. It was a Southern thing. They all were like, black or white, they ain't even really care. Grits is like a Southern tradition, but I never really liked it too much. Apple also said, please advise Uncle ABL, what if you have a friend who's really good to you, helpful, loyal, kind, but that friend is a jerk and bully to other people? That's a loaded question. I know what that is, but don't be friends with them. You know what I mean? If you have a friend that's a bully, you don't be friends with him. Now, how good of friends are you? How good of friends are you to those that he is bullying? That's the question. If you don't know them and he's bullying them, don't be friends with a bully. But if you're going to go try to help, if you're going to try to defend those that he's bullying and try to fight your friend over those friends, I mean, that's not really the way to go about it. Hold on. Thank you, DeSeros, Autism and Music. You don't like grits either, man. Thank you. My kindred spirit, my spirit animal. Shout out to you, boss. Also, do you think that New York Times confirming Hunter Biden's laptop and Ashley diary is a deep state starting to process to remove Biden? Why would they do that? That's a good question. I don't know it's about trying to remove Biden. I think it's more about well, it could be that, but it could be trying to get out in front of the midterms. Put the news out right now in a slow news cycle, so then when the midterms get cracking, it won't be breaking news right during the midterms. It won't be an October surprise, basically, like they had with the whole laptop and diary in 2020. Josh Foss says, time to change to Lowe's, guys. Home Depot went woke. Mo versus Windshield says, we have the right to believe yourself as whatever. When a person forces others to believe their own reality, that is an assault and fascism. Apple says, this is a reminder that Cuomo and other Democrat governors sent infected virus patients onto nursing homes when President Trump sent a U.S. Navy ship. Exactly. The ship was empty, but nursing homes were full of virus patients, and a lot of people died as a result. Thank you to Mike Darusha, who says, have you read Brave New World or Harrison Bergeron yet? No, I haven't. Thank you to Apple, who says, libs live like there's no God. They will be shocked. Also, favorite female pro wrestler, Moolah, China, Sable. It's a good question. Probably China out of that group. But as far as women in wrestling, Miss Elizabeth, that was my favorite. Miss Elizabeth was 100% my favorite. But as far as wrestling, like in the ring, it's China. Yeah. She was in DX and all of that. She wrestled with the men. See, it wasn't even like the way it is or what I've seen, which is like women versus women in the women's league. She was with the men wrestling. You know what I mean? So she pick you up, slam you, do all of that. So yeah, China. Thank you to Megan, who said, Megan Kosiak. If I tore it up, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. But anyway, Megan says, bigger issue to me. I'm female, and I've talked back to enough, quote, men to know if a biological man wants to beat the life out of me and I have no weapon, done. Yeah, and that's a serious problem because they're trying to act like there's no differences when there are clear differences. And at a certain point, it's very dangerous to not acknowledge that at all. Very good point. All right. Thank you to Buffer Winfield, who says, our border needs help. While thousands have died in Ukraine, here in the USA, fentanyl kills over 40K a year. Join to protect our border. Hope High says, the beat needs to remove the man of the year and replace it with the eunuch of the year. Josh Foss says, if it may sound wrong, but I say let these Prague stains go to Ukraine. I'm not going to try to stop them. Hey, I didn't say it. You did. Stavros Sarantopoulos says, these brainwashed people want to go fight in Ukraine and they don't even know why. Shaking my head. God help humanity. What's really happening behind the scenes? I can't tell, man. Thank you to Mike DeRusha, who says, covering paid super chats is not cool. It's kind of like stealing, especially for someone who claims to have integrity. What did I do? Why are you trying to attack me? I don't understand what I did. I read it right there. Thank you to Jeff Cox, who says, the same people volunteering are the same ones lining up for the 5th booster. Can't talk sense to them. Exactly. Mike says, third time I paid for a super chat, had it covered up and ignored. It seems to be common among YouTubers. And he also says, see, it just happened in real time. Sir, maybe you understand that the chat progresses. Like, okay, if you send a super chat, what's going to happen is, you see what's happening right here on the screen, where the chats, as new one comes in, the old one goes up. That's what's happening. And if you super chat, what happens is when it goes up into the ether with all the other ones, it'll stay at the top for a while, depending upon how much you pay. I don't control that, sir. I'm not like filling the buttons, scrolling the chat. Like it ain't no wheel over here. I ain't doing this number right here, scrolling the chat by. And I see your chat. I'm like, okay, just flick it out the way. I'm not doing that, sir. I'm not like, ain't no hamster in the wheel scrolling your chat by. It's just the way that YouTube works, man. It's not my fault. Blame the white man. Blame Susan Wojcicki or the guy that owned Google or whatnot. Don't blame me. But thank you regardless, man. I appreciate for your support. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you to Marie Stark, who says, keep it up with the work hard more. Thank you for that. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says, the New York, LA, and DC media cabal brainwashes people thinking Putin's bad and Obama Biden good. Correct. Thank you to Noah Garcia, who says, imagine trying to upload a war selfie on IG with 2G LTE service. Hilarious. Hilarious. They hooked on that dopamine, man. They got to have it. They got to have it. They don't understand the reality of where they are. They think that it is a selfie place. Meanwhile, it's a whole hot war zone where you can lose your life behind it. Again, it's a brainwashing. It's real. The brainwashing propaganda, it works. Remember, that old man was out there with a mask on, but was volunteering to go to Ukraine and fight. You're not afraid of dying instantly from a Russian airstrike, which you are going to do if you go out to Ukraine, but the virus is going to scare you to death. I don't understand. Okay. I got another comment right here. Sagittarius A says, talking to me now, Anthony B. Logan, dude, you could see your supers on its own page. Don't BS. So what am I doing right now, sir? Like, give me your breakdown of what I've been doing for the past half hour. I'm literally reading the chats from that page. What the guy was talking about is how these chats, like you see, like you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't got to explain. You guys have an IQ more than a couple points. It scrolls automatically. Look, check it out. You see what's happening right now? Look. As somebody comes in with another chat, it'll just scroll right back up. See, look what happened right there. See, Greg, where you put his chat right there, it scrolled up, and the one that's above it went away. You see what happened? It's called a YouTube chat. That's how it works. But I'm reading the chats from the back end right now. Okay, no more of that, because that's just kind of silly to talk about that. Y'all know what's going on. You guys are smart. Anyway, thank you to Bowler44 for your donation. Thank you to AB for becoming a member of the ABL squad. Thank you to Nicole McCauley, who says, I thought men and women's sports was due to one of Biden's executive orders. Not sure if the Supreme Court will do anything. Well, that's a good question. That's a good point. I'm not really sure what would be done, but Title IX is a law, and that will have to be amended, or Title 10 or whatever it is to add on to it to fix it. I think they can do something. And I think even Ketanji Brown Jackson said that it'll end up in the court. So they can do something. It's just a matter of how it's going to wind up in the court. It'll go through low courts first and then Supreme Court. Thank you to Datslav Atman Carey, who says, #keep fighting. Bob vs. Windshield says, Jackson scares me most when she says the modern internet makes it easier to commit CP. I ain't gonna read what it says right there. So she puts in the smallest punishment. It's crazy. Talking about something, you could accidentally see it anyway. Bob vs. Windshield says, this is a precedent. If crime becomes easier to commit in common, it becomes less of a crime. Game bangers who murder will be out in a year. Right. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, how about these teachers dress appropriately? Yes, correct. They got to do that. I'm seeing some of the most ridiculous stuff. They're trying to get attention. They're like little kids. They're like little kids, got no parental supervision, no attention, no love from their parents, and they go out here acting that crazy. That's what's going on. Also, this teaches students respect and responsibility. Correct. Thank you to Silas, who says, let's call it what Leah Thomas did. Gender doping. Yep. Laura VF says, send Leah to Ukraine. In fact, make him swim there. Derek Alexander says, read my super chat or I will get in my feelings. Oh, man. Hopefully you be all right, man. Hopefully you didn't get in your feelings. Eyes Open says, ABL, you are doing fabulous. So many of us appreciate you. You are a great man. Thank you for bringing this to us daily for free. Hey, no problem. I couldn't do it without y'all. But let's get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. It's all good. Let's get on Skype right quick. If it doesn't work right, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man, as always. All righty. Let's get cracking. And let's go to make sure everything's good here. All right, we good. Let's go to the first one. 312 online, I'm speaking to. 312, hello.
Hi, should I give you my real name?
So that's all on you, whatever you want to do.
I'm Cutesy Face. I have one maybe weird question. I've heard a lot of criticisms about Trump, and there's one thing I really couldn't defend, and I'm wondering what your opinion is on it. Somebody said, why didn't he pardon the January 6th people, the people who stormed the Capitol or whatever? Why didn't he pardon them? And I didn't really have an answer for that. Oh, what do you think about that?
Well, first, it was already over. Like, he was already out of office, really. Not officially yet, but it was already pretty much over. Like, Biden already been elected. He was a lame duck. Plus, Were there charges yet? I'm not really sure. So I'm not sure what he could have done to pardon them at that point. And also,
Yeah,
and also,
I know people
hold
were
on,
arrested
hold on, hold on.
after
Wait,
he
wait,
left.
can I finish?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, also, I think that if he did something like that, if he could do something like that, it'd be too toxic. The whole January 6th thing was bad enough, but then they go and try to like do that, it'd have made it worse, in my opinion. But I think the main thing was there wasn't any charges yet, so you couldn't really pardon the person in the future, if that makes any sense.
I see. Okay. I needed someone to explain or something. I don't know. I don't know if people are even still being held or if they're being sentenced or what's going on with that. But I was just wondering what somebody's input it was on that. Okay.
All righty. Well,
I'm nervous, so.
Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay. I love you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. It's all good. Don't be nervous. It's just me and you talking. Ain't nobody else watching. It's just me and you. So it's all good. Let's get to a few more here. 253, you don't know who am I speaking to?
Hey, my name's Jeff, ABL. Thanks for taking my call.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Well, listen, I wanted to say I really appreciate your show. Listen all the time. Love the work you do. Big fan. Keep it up, please. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I wanted to say I kind of wanted to make this comment. It seems like it's kind of popular with people, let's say in our camp, to be critical of some of the volunteers from U.S. and U.K. Who went to Ukraine, but I think I might disagree with some of the criticism because I think it's a brave and even a heroic thing. Maybe it's misguided. Certain people probably don't have any business doing it, but I do think in a lot of cases their heart's in the right place.
Well, I mean, it could be their hearts could be in the right place, but we know what it is. We know what's going on. The reason why they're over there is because they've been brainwashed by the media because they're not going to go to any other conflict. Ukraine is not the only conflict in the world that deserves attention from the outside. If Ukraine deserves outside attention, how about Yemen, Somalia, where else? Syria, places like that. And actually, when people go to try and fight in Syria, they're called ISIS fighters. You can go to jail for that. But when they go to Ukraine, all of a sudden it's noble. And again, it's all about just trying to, it's all about hatred of Vladimir Putin. That's not a good reason to go. You should go because you want to help people that are innocent and hurting and dying, not because you want to stick it to Vladimir Putin and the Russian Federation. That's called xenophobia.
Right. But you would you agree that Putin's invasion is, wrong and illegal and that?
I mean, it could be, but why is that our concern? I mean, there's a bunch of other conflicts that are wrong all over the world. How about China and the Uyghurs? Are you going to go to China and liberate them? I don't think so. So why go to Ukraine and try to liberate them? Why pick one over the other?
Well, I still think that,
I'm saying, but it's a question. But it's
not two good things. But it's still good. Yeah.
It's a question though. It's like why pick Ukraine? Why not go to China? Go to China and free the Uyghurs. Why only focus on
arguably logistical? There's a logistical difference, in territorial integrity and whatnot. But
how about?
But I absolutely oppose the Chinese Communist Party and the treatment of the Uyghurs, and I think we should boycott Chinese goods, and I think we should build manufacturing in this country. But I don't know. It's not strictly the same, right? They're not like marching on the Uyghurs' independent state with tanks, So there is a difference.
Well, they put them in camps. I mean, how is that? They're not putting Ukrainians in camps. So is it better to?
No, but they shouldn't put them in camps, and we should do what we can do to help them. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think in theory, I think you could go to the Ukraine with a rifle or whatever and do some good. Well, I don't know if you could go to China with a rifle.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be the same thing. People underestimate the Russian military. Like you would die. Like if you go to Ukraine with a rifle, you're gonna die first. That's what's going to happen to you. You can be cannon fodder. You can be cannon fodder. Like okay, see, there's no other countries officially boots on the ground in Ukraine. You have no backup. You wouldn't just send a random American with a rifle to Ukraine talking about, oh, I'm going to fight the Russians. You need to have a whole country behind you to try to do something like that, not just a couple guys with some kit. You're going to be cannon fodder. The Russian Federation have nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. What if a nuke hits you? It's not even like this. This is something that is drummed up by xenophobia. It's misguided. They may think they're doing the right thing, but what's happening is they're being brainwashed by propaganda. That's what's happening. Right. They're going out there for a noble cause, but it stems from propaganda brainwashing.
Well, I agree to disagree. I love your show, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I mean, I think I had a pretty good case. I don't understand. I think I had a pretty good case. Very respectful call. Shout out to the man. But seriously, I mean, let's go to Yemen with some kid. Let's go to Yemen with some kid on. let's go to Yemen. Okay. And the funny part is, okay, Yemen is a good example of this. Yemen is being funded by all sides, or Ukraine is being funded by both sides. The war in Ukraine is being funded by both sides, meaning the Russians are being funded by Americans and Europeans because of all the oil that they get that they send to us and Europe. 35% of their natural gas, so they're funding the war effort on the Russian side, and they're funding Ukraine from weapons and stuff like that. And cash. You want to go over there with a rifle talking about, I'm helping, and die. Why? All right, like, call. It's just who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's FNA Ranger Xbox.
All right, man, what's going on?
Hey, brother. I'm glad those people are indoctrinated and going over there. We're getting rid of them out of this country, so we could probably get a little bit of common sense to maybe possibly one day filter back into our community. Like I said before, having been to Russia before and China and other places that these people can't even find on a map, the eastern side of Ukraine, as I explained to you once before, and I know you understand, but to the people out there that don't understand, that historically was Russian territory for a few hundred years. Those people in that area speak Russian. Now, Zelensky eliminated 12 opposing political parties, gone, jailed those dissidents, put them in prison, and our politicians' children are making hand over fist of money out of Ukrainian companies and not even leaving U.S. soil because they're getting kickbacks from our foreign aid. Ukraine's one of the most corrupt countries out there. They had a neo-Nazi battalion that was brutalizing the ethnically Russian people on the eastern side of Ukraine, which actually technically for hundreds of years was Russia. The Charge of the Light Brigade was in Crimea, which was against the Russian army. And so, what happened to the Riddick boys from England is they got over there, we're volunteering to go fight and save Ukraine because the New World Order wants that. And Vladimir Putin is not down with the New World Order. He's not down with it like our politicians and the politicians in England and France and Germany and China, who's going to be leading the New World Order under, Klaus Schwab. You will own nothing and you will be happy because I will be owning everything. Yeah. Like I've been paying on this house for a couple of decades just to lose it, know nothing, and I'm going to be happy? Heck no. But that's all I got to say about Ukraine. What happened to those Riddick boys is they got on their cell phones, and the Russians have, believe it or not, they got sophisticated equipment, and they pinged and said, what are all these English phones doing? Oh, these are English mercenaries. Drone strike, kaboom, no more Riddick boys from England. That's what happens to these morons that don't know anything about military tactics. Having been a radio operator with International Morse Code, radio teletype operator, when you go set up with an A-team, the operator goes 10 miles out when everybody else sets up base camp. You go out 10 miles to transmit your radio messages, and you just don't do it anywhere. You got to pick certain terrains to bounce your radio waves off and away from the enemy receivers so they don't pick up, because the Russians have 120 millimeter rocket batteries and they take out a square kilometer on a radio signal. That's just what they do. Right now, the Russians aren't really trying. They're just surrounding and waiting because they can starve them out. They don't have to go in and lose troops and all that stuff. I don't buy any of the stuff our politicians say. But in closing, I just, to change the subject, when DAs and judges do not punish violent criminals, what they end up doing is punishing the community. That's all I got for you, brother. I love your show. God bless. Take care. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Love you, boy.
Great call. Shout out to the caller. Now, hold on. Here's an example of an actual white supremacist in Ukraine. Like they call everything racist, everything white supremacist. Here's an actual white supremacist in Ukraine. I think the guy became like the mayor or something over there in one of these cities, or some kind of government official. Or matter of fact, he might be a police officer in Ukraine.
Ну что, ребята, блядь, всем известно, что Бонов съебался в Польшу. До Польши я наконец-то доехал, блядь. Сейчас жду, блядь, подтянется Сергей Аркадьевич, блядь, и мы...
Look at this guy. If you guys can't see, if you on the audio only, this guy's a skinhead, full of tattoos. He's wearing a Nazi, a swastika on a chain, speaking Ukrainian, Russian, or whatever that is. All kind of tattoos, Nazis, and iron crosses. An actual white supremacist. Okay. Azov Battalion. Yep. AZOV. We're giving these guys $13 billion from U.S. money, and I got to pay that? Really? Oh, fight for Ukraine. I'm helping. What? I mean, come on. Like, stop. The xenophobia for Russia is blinding. Look at this. Look. An actual white supremacist. Look, the guy on Call of Duty talking about N-word is not a white supremacist. This guy is. If you see that guy, you're dead. He has a grenade launcher, apparently, a rifle, and a handgun at the same time. Rifle on his body, strapped, handgun with discipline on the trigger, and like a grenade launcher or something like that. What is that? I don't even know what that is. You guys know. But I'm not giving you no money, man. I'm sorry. And, you know, I saw this meme. The meme said something like, okay, there was a trucker rally. Remember the trucker rally in Canada? And somebody had a Confederate flag, I think. Maybe even a Nazi flag. I think it was a Confederate flag. Oh, white supremacists. Look at. But then when you have a bunch of actual Nazi symbols, white supremacist symbols in Ukraine, hey, man, it's a long story. It's a long story, bro. It ain't what it looks like. All righty, let's go. 928.
Wait, listen, Nazi. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, ABL. How are you tonight?
I'm well. About yourself?
Yeah, hanging in there. So I wanted to start off with this Jennifer Casey. I wanted to start off with the issue with the swimmer. And I was a swimmer in college. And it was really rough, you know, when I would go against the males and even try to compete because it's, you know, different body build. I don't care what they say. You know, women are built different than men. And I just really, what disgusts me is everybody that's supporting this swimmer. It's the people above that we need to be really mad at. You know, not just him, but, you know, I'm going to say him, but just the people that are supporting this issue.
Yeah, I agree, because that's the main problem. That's the support for this person. That's causing them to be able to go out there and do whatever they want.
Exactly. And my second thing on Ukraine, thank you for saying that we don't need to be donating any money to this Ukraine issue. We're $30 trillion in debt.
That's
and,
right.
You know, our American dollar is not going to be worth anything. So all this happening, coincidence, you got the vax, you got Ukraine, a distraction from what's really going on in our own country.
Exactly.
And, you know, yeah, people just need to wake up. You know, all these people going over there trying to put themselves in danger. I saw your other YouTube channel about the woman that got blown up and where she made it, but she was on her phone immediately. It's all for attention and to become popular.
Exactly. I think if I got hit by an IED in war, I would want to be on my phone right away. I might want to recover and get better maybe before I start, you know, Instagramming and stuff.
Exactly. And that's my opinion. I was in the military, and, you know, we need to take care of our own before we, you know, before we go do any of this other stuff with the Ukraine and other countries. And, you know, I heard that, you know, Putin's not an angel. But it's just, like I said, a coincidence. Everything was blamed on Trump in the beginning. Now it's all Putin. We all got to remember Hillary was after Russia for a very, very long time. I served under the Clintons, sadly, when I was in the military. Mm-hmm. And we have been after Russia, she has, for a very, very long time. We have, I had a doctor, I'm just going to tell everybody tonight, a friend of mine who is a doctor who is against the vax, and she refuses to get her children back. She told me again that these biolabs were blown up in Ukraine to hide the evidence that Hillary and Obama and all of them are tied into it, as well as the banks.
That's right. Right on.
So that's right. And Hunter Biden sits on the youth energy board in Ukraine. So, you know, which is sad. He's useless.
Very corrupt.
But yeah, that's just my beef. And I just wanted people to know that there are doctors, there's nurses that are trying to tell the truth out here, but they keep getting threatened, and they're trying to work in provide a good service at the VA facilities, and they're letting them go. You know, refusing to get the vax. I mean, she was almost in tears. So it's just a big cover-up. Big cover-up. That's all it is. It's just, we need to get the word, keep getting the word out, and I thank you, ABL, for you actually having, you know, the balls enough to stand up and say, hey, this is what's really going on, folks.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome, ABL. You have a good night.
I know. All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, this whole thing is crazy. Get to a few more calls here. 701, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Anti-View. How are you, ABL?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing okay. I can't take credit for this. It was somebody in the chat, but I think I got a new T-shirt for you. Fruits and veggies are sexist.
Okay, so what's the context behind that one?
Well, you know, there is male and female fruits and vegetables. Like when you get a bell pepper, like one that has 4 is, I don't know if it's a female or a male, but one that has little 4 nubs and one that has 3 nubs, you know, one's a female, one's a male. So fruits and veggies are sexist.
Well, hey, there it is. I mean, you can't have gendered veggies. Maybe they got to try to change it some kind of way. I don't know how they're going to do that, but we'll see what they come up with.
Right, and I got some insight to a couple of hot topics. We're gonna start with Ukraine and the missionaries and those people that went there. That video that you showed, I would love for you to pull it up so you can get a visual while I say this. But you might not be that fast. You see the guy in the white puffy jacket? When did Drake get to Ukraine?
Yeah, that's fake. That ain't Drake.
Right? And then with the women's sports, men's sports, trans sports, did you hear that Leah Thomas's favorite band is Aerosmith?
Nah, I didn't hear that. Really?
And I know you got a soft spot for the Vikings. You know, we won't mention any names, but I know you got a soft spot. So what do the Vikings and a pothead have in common? Since we'll bring up the weed.
I don't know. You gotta tell me.
As soon as they get close to a bowl, they choke.
Oh man, that burns so hard. Oh man, that burned deep.
I mean, your uncle. I mean, there is deep love. There's deep love because I mean, he's the closest thing in my lifetime that I can remember getting close enough to. You know, besides the whole Favre, you know, one stop shop.
I remember that. Yeah.
But that, you know, that was my childhood. We're the same age. That was my like. I wasn't him, but I wanted to be him, and I'm not even a football player. Last thing, I'm just going to end on a serious note since I had all the giggles before. You know, everybody needs to open their eyes. You know, best thing you can do is educate yourself. Like I always say in all of my, you know, every time I call, you know, the same people that are telling you to kill the weeds in your front yard are the same people that are giving you cancer. And they're the same people that are making the chemotherapy drugs that you're then putting in your body.
Mm.
You know, there's a direct correlation between the start of sunscreen and a spike in skin cancer. Like, open your eyes, people. Not all news is good news. Not all sources are good sources. And the best thing you can do is educate yourself. So, no weed talk, everybody. We already talked about that. Okay, done with that. And then all the rest of the callers are going to be great, okay? Have a good night.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Yep, bye.
Yeah, that's a good point about sunscreen. I've never had sunscreen before in my life. I never used sunscreen. Like, you know, I used to go play basketball outside, be outside in the summertime, 2-3 hours playing basketball. I just get real dark. Like how I am right now, I'll match my shirt. I can't work one day like that. He's like, what you been sunbathing, sir? But I don't burn. You know what I'm saying? My skin just absorbs the light, but I don't burn. Let's go to the next one here. But I have seen some black folks get sunburned, but I don't get sunburned. 928, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, sir. My name is the Mental Mentalist.
All righty, what's going on?
Good evening, ABL. Long time listener, first time caller.
Good to have you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the hell out of everything you do. Anyway, just wanted to say a little bit about inflation and money and the dollar and currency. If you'll take the time to hear me.
Go for it, yeah.
Well, hell, I want to blame the baby boomers, but I'm going to blame the baby boomers. This dollar and the bullshit they got going on.
You can't curse. Okay, yeah, you can't curse.
Yes, sir. In 1951, everybody was getting all sketchy about gold and silver. And in 1971, they pulled gold off the market. So for the last 52 years, our cash and our fiat dollars have not been backed by the United States government at all. It's fake plating money. It's monopoly money. So I highly encourage everybody to start buying some gold and silver right now.
Yeah, you know, that can help. But my thing about gold and silver, it's like in theory, it makes sense. But if you have a collapse of the dollar, then you're going to have chaos to the point where your gold and silver will become useless. It's like how you would see, what's that movie, like I Am Legend with piles and piles of money. It'd be the same as that because it's like, in chaos, how are you going to trade? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. But if there's nobody else alive, you can't trade with anybody. I understand that completely. But gold and silver has been metal and money for over 7,000 years. And it's always had some sort of value, and it's never gone to zero.
Well, you know, that's the point.
I think it's a good call, especially during inflationary times. I mean, you know, get a little money tucked away in the bank. Heck, might as well have it in some shiny stuff. That way you actually make a little bit and preserve your wealth. I mean, gold and silver is like a preservation of labor. All your work and effort and energy has been spent into it. This is the only way you can keep it safe and protected. I mean, it's valuable in every other country. You don't have to be here. You can go somewhere else. Heck, even all these other countries don't want to talk about the current thing, but you can't buy oil in rubles, and the ruble's gone to nothing. At least gold will always be worth something.
Yeah, that's the whole thing right there. That's more of a geopolitical thing. You're talking about buying oil, then that's a whole different thing right there, because you might mess around and get whacked for trying to buy oil in a different currency. Shout out to Muammar Gaddafi.
Oh yeah, but all currencies and throughout the lifespan of history have failed. Roman, this and that. It's not good, man. Our dollar's next. It's not going to last forever. I mean, if you got a couple of $100 bills tucked away in the savings account, it's not going to buy you that much next year. $100 now could buy you, I don't know, $80 next month. I'd get rid of that cash.
Yeah, I mean,
but
yeah, that's
my
thing.
rant.
Yeah,
and rave. I appreciate y'all listening to me.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, I mean, that money thing, it can become complicated, because if a regular normie, if not even normies, if people aren't able to buy things with dollars, you're going to have chaos. Because, okay, you got to eat, right, every day, or at least at a certain point, you're going to need to eat. 7 days, 10 days, it's going to get rough. So what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to be able to control that? And if you're trying to prep for a collapse of the dollar, you need to buy ammo and food and water. You need to prep to be able to survive a chaotic situation. People not going to be, it won't be a situation where people just calmly trade. Okay, the dollar is gone. I can't buy a dollar can of beans right now in the store. I'm about to starve to death. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some gold and silver and trade with you for what? What you going to trade in that environment? You need to be trading some bullets. How about that? Some hot bullets, some pew pew. Trade some of that. 850, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
I'm right here on the line. Turn the stream off in the background for me, please.
Yeah, I'm holding up for Anthony, Brian Logan.
You're live right now with me. This is me right now talking to me.
Anthony, how are you doing, sir?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
This is Greg McClellan. I've been listening to you for about 4.5 years now. I really like what you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I watch you every day. I really support your program. So, wow, kind of nervous. I try to get through and really don't know what to say right now.
Well, it's all good, man. It's just me and you.
Yeah, man. You're doing well.
I appreciate that, man. I couldn't do it without y'all, man. Y'all make the whole thing go. So I thank y'all.
Yeah, man. Well, I really like your coverage of Ukraine. I really support what they're doing over there. And, wow, I don't know what to say. But I hope they fight to the last man, the last bullet, because it's worth it in the end. But I'm not going to go over there. I'm going to fight for America if the Russians ever come here.
There you go. Right on. I'm with you 100%. It's like, hey, if you're over in Ukraine and you want to fight that, that's your thing. It's your homeland. It's your country. I think that they're being set up, though. I think it's a NATO thing instigating the war. But at the same time, it's like, hey, if you live in Ukraine, what are you to do? You know?
Yeah.
It'd be
I really feel bad for them, but it's their war. I think we should stay out of it. But if they come to America, I've got some Russian olive points for them. About 5,700 of them, and an AK, and an SKS.
right on. That's how it should be.
Yeah, man. America first. Trump won. Trump 2024.
There you go.
All right, man. Don't want to take up too much of your time. Really appreciate getting through to you, and I'll continue watching you. You take care and stay in good health. We need you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks. Good night. Bye.
Shout out to the call. Great call. I agree with that 100%. It's like, hey, now they want to come over here and try to do something with us. Now I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna defend my country. You're absolutely right. Sure will. But I'm not gonna go to a foreign country and fight for them. Why? That don't make no sense. I mean, I'm not in the military. If I was in the military, it'd be something different. Like if I was in the military and they sent me over somewhere else, that's different. But as a normie, not in the military, nah, I'm gonna defend my country, defend myself, defend my family. But I'm not gonna. Hey, I'm a help. Nah. If I'm part of an army, a military that gets deployed, that's one thing. But that ain't what's happening. So yeah, shout out to him. Right on point. 928, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 928, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Is this Anthony?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, wonderful. Okay. Not to be off subject and not to take a lot of your time. I'm a 63-year-old white male. You had a woman on your telephone not that long ago that I could relate with when I think she said something about Aerosmith or something like that. And, and I like the Talking Heads and things like that. But that's not why I called. I called because I really respect you. I watch you very often, and I pay attention to your program a lot because I don't know where you get this brightness, but you seem to be very bright on a lot of different subjects. So that being said, I'm just going to quickly just talk about Ukraine just for a second. And it's like, well, how much do I care? How much do I care? Do I care whether Russia's invading Ukraine? Am I, what is, and where am I? And I think I'm like 50%. I don't know the difference between, I know what's going on. But how much of my life am I going to spend trying to figure out what's going on in Ukraine, bullet by bullet? So at that point, I'm in a 50-50 care, and I wonder how many people are like that because that's where I am at. And then just to not take up much more of your time, and thank you for your program, by the way, is to say, is that, when it comes to things like, let's say, a backyard barbecue, okay, I'm curious, do you do that? Do you have like a backyard barbecue every occasion, and, starting off with the grits and all that stuff and who likes them, who does. Well, anyways, when it comes to a backyard barbecue or something like that, do you throw things on the grill? And if you do, what is it?
Well, I don't have a grill in my backyard at the moment, but I have grilled before. Basic stuff, hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken wings, the basic barbecue stuff. That's but definitely the hot dog. Get the hot dog real burnt, but not too burnt, not burnt all the way, and you're good to go. Put some buns on the grill as well to get them a little bit toasted and warm, and you're straight.
And you know what? I have to agree with you. Mine has to be charred if I did that, but just, when it comes to like food products and, barbecue grills and, we talked about grits, or you did. I'm sorry, we didn't. But about the grits and things. And I've never had grits in my life, but I'm 63, so sometimes I watch cooking programs, and sometimes they have grits and things like that. And I was always curious. And at the same time, I've been to some restaurants where they offered grits. I think we have one here in town. I think it's Cracker Barrel or something.
Okay,
like
I don't want to get too far off in the food conversation. Just but it's everybody got their own preference about that, man. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Well, wait, just 1 second, Anthony, please. Just 1 second.
Okay, 1 second. Go ahead.
Okay, that doesn't have to be related with food. Okay.
Okay.
I know it sounds strange, but I just want to know your opinion on how you think people feel in general in the United States about, are there only half the people that care about what's going on in Ukraine, or is there another half of people that just think that, we don't care? But thank you for answering the call, and I'll let you go.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Okay, now as far as Ukraine, I think people don't really care about Ukraine at all. They care about Vladimir Putin. That's the problem. They don't like, they're xenophobic against Russians. So whenever Vladimir Putin does something, the media highlight it, and now the most recent thing has been Ukraine. That's all they really got on them. Before is just they don't like Putin because they're corrupt with no proof of corruption. I'm not saying they're not corrupt, but the proof that the things that they say that they did, they don't do. So here we have an actual thing that they did. Oh, okay. This is why we say Vladimir Putin is a bad guy. Putin all day. I played the video earlier where the guy was like, when he was asked, why are you going to Ukraine? I hate Putin. What's that got to do with Ukraine? Nothing. But you hate him so much, you're willing to die behind that. That's what's going on. Point blank, period. Can't nobody tell me nothing else, because anytime anybody says something about Ukraine and how they want to defend them, they say Putin. What's that got to do with Ukrainians dying? What does your hatred of him got to do with the war? Okay, I don't really understand. Like, we talking about Yemen. Are you talking about the Saudi king? Do you even know his name? Or is it about the Yemenis? But I digress. Okay, let's go to the next one. You're on the line, 347. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello? Hey, how's it going?
It's all good.
Hey, how's it going? I'm a 22-year-old correctional officer in Pennsylvania, and I see how a lot's going on with the country. Like, I moved last year from New York City just to escape the whole chaos over there and the vaccine mandate. And now I'm being mandated in my job, and I gotta see what to do. Gotta get a new job, and I just got married last year, so it's like you see how hard life is getting, where people are so focused on Ukraine, but look at how like our country is. It's just we got. My wife said she loves you. We got weak people here. We got people just, focused on the wrong things. There's some people more focused on is something racist, or something sexist, or they're talking about Ukraine, but look at how people been losing jobs, or people forced to get the vaccine, and people forced to be scared by this. First it's the pandemic, then they're saying, just worry about, like you see, they come up with something else to worry about on the news, and wherever you go, it's like people will hate you for trying to express your opinions, but it's like, I don't know, I just want to say I've been a long-time fan for probably like 6 years now. I appreciate what you do. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the country's got to wake up, but it's like people are so focused on the wrong thing, you know what I mean?
That's right, 100% correct, and it shouldn't be that way. You focus on what matters to us, and not just other things that don't help us at all. But what's going to help us? That's the main thing that should matter, right?
Right. Like, it should be America first, and you have people like they're more focused on, they say they're into politics, but you see people care about something racist and all this pointless stuff. But look at how bad the economy is. People losing everything. Like, there's people willing to go to Ukraine and fight, but people hate this country. And you see, a few years ago, people were ready to kill someone for saying they support Trump. Like, it's crazy. And I'm Italian. My wife is Jamaican. We're both conservative. Like, we were both born in New York City, and we saw how, like, New York City got so bad. Went on the streets and people were rioting, and people are so willing to be violent because the media tells them to, or someone tells them to. Like, people are so glued to their phones with Twitter and Facebook and the news, obviously, people are brainwashed, and it's like you were saying with Ukraine, like people ready to go fight, but you know they never held a gun before. They don't know anything about, you know, military strategies. Like they're going in and they're ready to, you know, accidentally shoot someone because they don't know how to point a gun, but somehow they're going to go fight against Russia, one of the biggest countries, biggest militaries. You know, it's just, you see, everything's all just, it's like the New World Order. Everything's like staged, done for a reason. Like basically, you see, anything that happens, it's like the media goes right onto it. If it's not something they want to talk about, they don't care. It's like they have this whole narrative, just making everyone weak and just focused on making everyone brainwashed. So the country just keeps falling apart, and like, I don't know, it's really messed up. I know you got other calls coming in, but I mean, my wife's been waiting for a while. You know, we appreciate it. But yeah, I don't want to take up all your time, but basically, I don't know, just ever since 2016, you know, I've seen how like the country's been going, and I don't know, it's like I think we'll have to have something happen, because I don't know, when are people going to say enough is enough? Like when we're going to do something, like we don't wait till everyone just says, okay, the country and the economy is collapsed and that's it, and there's chaos. Like, you know, what are we going to wait for, right?
I'm with you, man. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate y'all.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now.
Take care. Continue being here. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's get to a few more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 773 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. Long time since I contacted you.
All right, man. What's happening?
Well, a lot's happening. First off, ABL, do you remember back in 2014 when the Obama administration made all those deals with Ukraine?
Well, yeah, there were quite a few of those.
Yeah, because over the past several weeks since this whole conflict happened, that's the one thing I've noticed a lot of people on our side are completely missing the point on, and keep on parodying the mainstream media's talking points like there's no biolabs and no neo-Nazis there, when other right-leaning sources clearly indicate that there is, especially given the fact that there's funding from the United States that's funding those biolabs there. They're under our watch over the past decade, especially under the Obama administration.
Right? Yeah, I mean, that's a known thing, but for some reason, the media kind of wants to hide that fact. I'm not really sure why or how they're going to do that.
Yeah, well, it's not just the mainstream media. I'm just saying that it's a lot of commentators on our side who haven't done enough in-depth research to kind of figure that part out. Even though I don't have a lot of access to a lot of these specific websites, but the ones I do follow seem to kind of clearly indicate a well-known pattern of this, especially debunking a lot of the mainstream media's lies, especially the whole actual Nazis saying, because Ukraine actually has a history of hiding those type of people in the first place. Because if you remember back in World War II, there actually were Nazi sympathizers in Ukraine and from there, and some of them even retreated there after the war.
Right on.
Anyway, if you do find some of the receipts, please let everybody know about them, because one way or another, we need to kind of let the truth be out there, and especially for us who are going to be in D.C. with the truckers, should stay there and make it pretty clear that this is not our war, period. Especially given another controversy about them hiding and harboring human traffickers in that part of the region as well.
Right.
Because that's the big thing I noticed everybody's not talking about, because it's not trending on social media.
Well, yeah, people don't really
Anyway,
know.
if you
They
do
don't.
find
Yeah, go
some
ahead.
information about that, let us know, please.
I got you, no doubt.
Okay, and I do have one big question as everybody here if they've been following the hearings Ms. Jackson Brown and already knew what her record was in the past, particularly of defending pedophiles.
I mean, was that a question, or was that like what was that?
It was more of a question if everybody knew that already.
I think so. I think people knew about it. If he knew about her at all before, that's something that she probably already knew. And I knew about it like right before she was before the hearing. I'd heard about it. But
Okay,
the average person probably didn't know that before the hearing.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it until I've heard a couple people online mention it. And given everything that's happening in Florida, I actually do think that this should automatically dismiss her altogether. What do you think?
What you mean, dismiss her from the confirmation hearings?
Well, dismiss her from being nominated to Supreme Court in the first place.
Well, they're not going to do that because, that's their person. But as far as being confirmed, that's a different story. I'm not sure it's going to be confirmed. It'll be close because you get the split in the Senate.
Yeah, and also because they're pretty much desperate to put a black woman up there in the first place.
Yeah,
and I really think
the
question Black Americans specifically need to ask themselves is defending this black woman for Supreme Court justice really worth it if you know that she has a history of defending pedophiles and will put your children in danger as well?
Yeah, it's a question, ain't it? But people don't think like that. Just like the Democrats, they're not thinking like that. They knew what her record was before. They nominated her and did it anyway. So people don't use their brain properly. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Let's get to a few more. 513, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Manuel. What's going on?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, love your show. Always a good laugh, laced with the truth. But it surprises me that the debacle in Iraq and how they had all the information, our government, and lied about everything, they would think we believe anything they would say about war. That's all. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Exactly. We've been sitting here for years saying how the mainstream media will lie. I say that every single day. The media sucks. 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 What do they say? Vladimir Putin bad. Russian Federation bad. Ukraine soft victim. No white supremacists. Azov Battalion. Oh, it's just a small group of people. Don't worry about it. Long story, bro. All this, that, and the third. But yet people go out there to fight against Putin and die. And we told them the media sucks. They're going to tell you a lie. You think that the Russian Federation, they can't handle it. They're soft. Ukraine's going to win. You go out there, get put on the front lines by the white supremacist organization and die instantly. All because of lies that you've been told. We're trying to get away from the lies over here. So shout out to the caller. That was perfectly said. All right, let's go to the next one. 909, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm staying out of trouble. That's important.
Yes, it is.
Just a couple of comments. This war in the Ukraine, and it's in the same category as the coronavirus and a lot of other distractions. It feels as though the media is trying to tell us, don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. If you understand the reference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
myself personally, I wonder what is going on behind the scenes that is so drastic that the media and the pundits and all the politicians and all those folks have put so much effort into all of this distraction that they're showing us on the TV.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of that going on, and you know, it's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of things happening that they don't want us to know about, and if there was not such a distraction, we might be more aware of what's happening.
Exactly. They've been trying to bring socialism and then therefore the follow up to communism here to this country for decades and decades. I believe it was Nikita Khrushchev that said, "We will bury you." He didn't say when. He just said, "We will bury you."
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's getting to the point to where everybody's going to have to hunker down. It's all about, you know, it's not about racism so much as it is about tribalism. If you keep the tribes fighting each other, then they're not going to go after the quote unquote rulers. They're not going to go after the true oppressors, the ones who are making their entire livelihood from oppressing everybody, all the tribes. And if they can convince you that your only identity in this country is a tribe and that it's just a small local thing, then they can just go on about their business and just enjoy themselves to no end.
Right on. That's 100% correct.
And that's basically really all I wanted to say, was that people watch out, because something's going on that they don't want you to see. And when it happens, it's going to be hunker down time. Well, yeah, you know, they've talked about there's going to be, you know, variants and viruses and stuff like that. And to me, it's just all a big distraction.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hope you have a good night, and shout out to all those other callers out there.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of distractions happening. A lot of distractions. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to 509 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Anthony. This is John. Hey, first time caller here. Let me turn my volume down here a little bit. Hey, we're talking Ukraine. You know, I just wanted to say, for 8 years, you know, there's been a genocide going on in the Donbass. Okay, those people were being picked off, sniped, and just absolutely abused by the Ukrainian army. As a matter of fact, just before the Russian special operation began, the Ukrainian army was shelling their own people to use it as a pretext. You know, they had massed troops along that contact line, and they just absolutely were just barraging those poor civilians. And they weren't aiming at military targets. They were shooting into the civilian areas. So, you know, I tell you, Putin is a devout Orthodox Christian. His mother was very devout. And, he brought over 1,000 churches back to the Russian Federation, you know, after the Soviet times. He's a very articulate, bright man, and they've just vilified him his entire career here in the West. And I think it's a shame, you know, just an absolute shame.
Yeah, you know, and people, when they say they don't like Vladimir Putin, typically, like a regular person, they don't really have a reason why. And the reason is because all they get from the media is Putin bad. So it's kind of like brainwashing to their mind. It's just media, politicians, they put out the narrative about a person without really giving a whole lot of background information. If they were to tell about the background information of Vladimir Putin, then it'd be a different story. They would not have that opinion that they have. But since the media does not do that, that's why they have that opinion, and they're going over to Ukraine and dying for no reason.
Absolutely. That is without a shred of doubt in my mind. You know, I mean, it's terrible. Those Azov guys, you know, they would go to the contact line, and they would They would just shoot at civilians. They would snipe civilians. Anybody out there in their garden, didn't matter. They'd shoot at them. I mean, that's the kind of people that that the Russians have been dealing with for 8 years. And you know what? When Putin went in there, I said, right on, go get him. You know, go get him and clean him out.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. Well, that's all I had to say. First time caller, and I've watched your show for years now, and by God, you do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Great call. Shout out to all the callers calling in. The phone lines are blowing up. The number to call, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box and also in the ticker at a certain point. It'll pop up on the screen. Let's go to the next one. 510 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how's it going, ABL? What's going on? Long time no call. To your good friend from out here in California.
All righty, man. In the belly of the beast, what's happening?
Oh yeah, man. I'm over here working a 12-hour shift just to pay for bare necessities and gas.
All right. I know that gas is getting crazy over there. Like, how much is it where you live?
So I live in the Bay Area. I don't know if you remember. Sorry for the background noise. I'm over here trying to grind. So in Oakland, it's almost $7 now. It's about $6.30.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm out here. I might pull 13, 14 hours just to pay for the gas. It literally is getting bad. But yeah, I just wanted to call. I haven't called in a while. I just wanted to give a little bit of 2 cents on this Supreme Court nominee and how ridiculous that lady sounds, or whatever she wants to be considered as.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know how somebody who would be in that field, somebody who works especially as a judge, and the questions she was getting asked are very basic questions, very simple Simon, as Denzel Washington calls them, simple Simon questions, and she's saying, I don't know how to answer that. You're supposed to be a little bit educated on how to answer these questions.
Yeah, it should be able to, but it's a political thing. You want to avoid the question because you don't want the political backlash. But if you're going to be a Supreme Court justice, you got to answer certain things. If it's something in front of you and you got a judge on, you can't just say, "Well, I don't want to answer that." You have to answer it at that point.
Of course, you can't just shy away from the question when it doesn't fit your narrative. Well, I mean, you're trying to make it fit your narrative in the nonsensical way you're answering it, But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to call in. Don't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to say, love your show. We're still out here in the belly of the beast, the Bay Area. East Oakland representing, going hard for you, ABL. I drink out of my sir mug all the time. And matter of fact, since you haven't said it in a while, I actually got some hot tea ready right now. So, I got the tea on deck.
There you go. Very good.
All right, ABL, man. Love your show. Me and my wife tune in all the time. Yeah, good program tonight. Keep it up.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right, good call. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to a few more. All right, let's go to. Okay, let's get to the next one here. Hold on one second. 478, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, this is Tanya Bird. How are you?
What about yourself?
I'm fine, thanks.
All right, turn your speakers down.
So, I have been watching your show for years.
Hold on one second. Turn your stream down in the background for me, please.
Oh, okay. All right.
All righty.
Okay. I just wanted to say that it seems like Ukraine is just to deflect from a bigger picture. People aren't opening their eyes to what's going on around them. It's it's like Operation Mockingbird, using the media to brainwash the public.
Oh yeah, that's always that's an everyday thing now with the media brainwashing the public. That seems to be the norm at this point. Yeah, and it's crazy because it works at a certain point. People can just say Vladimir
does.
Putin, and then they go crazy. But it's like, why is it? Why like they don't understand what they're doing or why they're doing it, but because of brainwashing has been effective. So you're right about that.
Exactly. And I mean, it's like their eyes are wide open to try to make them seem more believable.
Yeah, eyes wide shut. Exactly.
Exactly. But if people will think back, which they don't seem to do, they can see divide and conquer and the cover-ups. They're there.
Right.
I just, it's sad because this is a country divided. People don't have respect for country, their elders, their fellow man, or themselves.
Yeah, that's a serious problem because that impacts society as a whole. A lot of random crimes and violence happen because of that lack of respect for themselves and their country around them. Just a fellow man, just human beings.
Right.
I mean,
anything goes.
Right.
And I love what you do. I like your intro music, and I like that water myself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Okay. Joe Brandon says, do you all think that Putin just wants to stop at Ukraine? I don't know. How do I know that? How about what China is doing? Do they just want to stop with East Turkestan? They already took Hong Kong, Tibet, East Turkestan, now Taiwan. What you going to do when they take Taiwan? Nothing. They took Hong Kong because that was already in an agreement. They took Tibet, although Tibet was a sovereign country. So why not take Taiwan? Why not take other parts of South China Sea? Are they going to stop there? Why not take Philippines? Why not? They kind of Chinese a little bit anyway. Kind of a little bit, kind of sort of, but not really. Let's go to the next one. Hold on. Y'all, please give me a second to get, because the phone lines are jumping. All righty, can you hear me? 479, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hi, ABL. This is Andrew Stockton.
All righty, what's going on?
Not much. I do have a question. You may have some answers. I don't want to get into that Ukraine thing because I don't want to give it rats, And what I want to get into is William Thomas. Now, there's another guy that's supposed to be in the swim team. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It was an Asian man. Looked like an Asian man. I could be wrong. But he's also a swimmer, too, that's getting involved. So it's getting to be a woke, wokeism going wild in swimming.
And, the whole thing is crazy because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a bunch of these coaches in college realize that, hey, you know what? I can have an advantage. I'll get a bunch of quote unquote trans women, put them on my team, and I'll win all the time. It's just simply unfair. It's just.
Well, it's fraud. I mean.
Yes, correct. And the reason why I know it's fraud is because you don't see it the other way around. You never see quote unquote trans men, biological women compete against the men. Because they know they can't win. No. They know they can't win, but the men go compete with the women because they know they can dominate. When they were men, they were trash. They were garbage. Just like this person, quote unquote, Leah Thomas. When Thomas ran the 500 free with the women, he comes in first. But when he was running against the men, he ranked 775th. In the nation.
700. I thought it was 462.
Well, as far as his time in the actual 500 free, his time in the 500 free was ranked 775.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Both of them, I think, is kind of high, but it's all just.
Either way, you're not dealing
fraud.
with.
It's just
you're not dealing with a prolific athlete with the men, but as a woman. Now, all of a sudden, your 6'4" ectomorph body frame with gigantic shoulders and chest and cardiovascular capability puts you ahead of the pack automatically.
Oh, right. Yeah. But you don't know anything about the other guy.
I've not seen them yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like this is probably, you probably going to have more guys to come out, because why not? You can win. If you were not very good with the
And look
men,
at all the other sports too, like soccer, baseball, all the women's, the women's portion of that, they're going to be whooped.
yeah, right.
Well, if it's fraud, can the female swimmers sue them for, this kind of fraudulent behavior?
That's next.
I will never call that guy Leah. He's William. As far as I'm concerned, he's William. But
yeah, but that's next though. You're going to have lawsuits that come, which is why it's going to go to the Supreme Court. This is why they were asking Ketanji Brown Jackson about what is a woman. Oh, I don't know what a woman. I'm not a biologist. That's why she was asking that question.
I saw that.
she was asking that because they know it's going to the court. It kick around the low courts for a while, for years it'll happen, and then it'll go to the high court, and then whoever's in the Supreme Court, they're going to decide on it eventually.
How many court picks has Biden had? Just one, right?
Just one, yes.
Okay. I was wondering if there was another one, but I wouldn't know.
Nah.
Well, thank you for your time. Check it out. Oh, one more thing. If you go to Paint the Trump on Rumble, he's got a 20-second video on William Thomas. Oh, my God, you will laugh. It is funny.
I'll check him out. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure, thanks. Love your flags.
Oh, thank you. All right, shout out to the caller. Let's get to some more here. But yeah, your time in the 500 free ranked you 775th in the 2019-2020 season. 775th. That was your time in the 500 free. You go from that performance to defeating all the women in the NCAA championship. Come on, stop. This is fraud, and there will be a lawsuit for sure. 254, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, good evening. Good evening, ABL. How you doing, man?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I see you out there drinking that hint water right there. Just
yes, indeed.
Can't really make. Yeah, I can't be doing that myself. Going out there I ain't got the big Benji bucks like you, so I got to make that stuff at home. But when I did, Apple gang on top. So, anywho, get the jokes out the side. We'll hop onto the serious stuff. I'm not going to focus too much on the Ukraine thing. I know that's been kind of hit on the head pretty much right there. What I will say though is we do need to focus this America First atmosphere. We need to start bringing that actually back here to the States on that. Some of the stuff we've talked about on your stream and some of the stuff I've seen on some of the other political analysis or political people that do bring stuff up. Education system, the big one. We've talked about that enough. DeSantis's bill down there in Florida, that is the reason why we have those in there. The reason why we need that type of stuff is because children at a younger age, between this like 5 to 10 age group right there, we can sit over there and look at the scientific studies that show that those kids at those ages can absorb a lot more information out there, especially when you see this even like among bilingual children. You got a household that's speaking Spanish and English, they absorb and pick up this information much. And especially during that time frame too, that's when we start needing it, like you talked about, focused education such as arithmetic, reading, writing. Other nations do this elsewhere. Why can't America focus that right there? Why can't we get into that study of that? The other one that got brought up too in education recently was this discussion of the conservative type of attitude, professionalism in that workplace right there. Teachers, why can't they sit over there and get looked at and dressed properly and appropriate in their atmosphere? I forgot who the other the YouTuber was that brought this up. There's a teacher that sat over there and, I'm non-binary, I want to dress up as a unicorn. And, their idea is to instill that into children. But the conservative atmosphere or that conservative style is looked frowned upon. And I don't understand why. I had a coworker a long time ago when I worked at a school district. He went through that same thing. Prior military, sleeves of tattoos on his arm. He still showed up in button-down shirts. Women at the school district out there wore dresses. Why is that considered frowned upon when we can't sit over there? We got to cater towards one side of the world and focus on this skewed minority. I'm not talking about race, but the skewed minority of people, and we care about them on that. I'll just touch back on that one in a second. I got my little notes right here. Sorry.
That's all right.
But the other one too, though, is 2 years later, media finally caught up with us with the tinfoil hats. We got the Hunter Biden laptop. We got the Ashley Biden's diary. All the other information we've been talking about. I mean, they figured out the mask situation. They figured out the, pandemic situation thing going on too. So, America finally catching up. We finally realized, that, hey, maybe, some of the people that sat out there, presented this information beforehand were probably not wrong right there. Now, I will say it's kind of funny. I did love it back in the day when the internet took over on this, the whole Hunter Biden laptop, and the amount of information that they even found even more that further went into it. The data that actually really came off of there. And it really is disturbing stuff. There's some of the pictures that he did have, too, that were out there, and some of the information that did get presented. And I think it's pretty sad that, we're now bringing this to light. And it probably is just because of that. This administration that we sit here currently right now, the Democrats themselves are upset, and Americans themselves are upset about this. So I would like to see a red wave take over and change of place that. I like to see that Game of Thrones style, but that's the story, and I digress. But, I think that, these Americans need to pay attention to what's actually going on here, right here. And, people are upset. Had the caller out here that I'm out here, too, in California. And I feel for the gas prices out here. A lot of my coworkers, a lot of people that I interact with on, my civilian side, they're taking a hit. They don't care about what's going on around the world. And they care about what's going on in their state here first. They're caring about what's going on in their country first. Their economy's being messed up. Their education systems are going downhill. And there's a lot of it that's shown right there. So, but other than that, I'll leave it on that one for tonight. I got to head out, take care of a few things. But I'm glad to be able to call in, get some 2 cents on their ABL. Good show. Hope everybody else has a good night out there on there as well. So, catch you later. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Great call. Very good call. Put the bowl clean on top of that, didn't he? All right. Thank you to Armor Truth for the donation right there. I see you, boss. Armor Truth says, keep up the great work. God bless. At Armor Truth. Thank you for that. I recognize your name, don't I? Shout out to you, man. Armor Truth. Let's get to some more calls here. And let's get to, hold on here. Let's try 929. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Okay, I don't know what's happening there. The Obama phone rebelled against you. It became sentient and rebelled against you. So I don't know what happened. I didn't do it. 904 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing, ABL? My name is Dennis, down here in the great state of Florida, man. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
It's good to talk to you. I'm not going to say anything about the Ukraine. I'm not educated on the subject, and I have very little interest in it. Not trying to sound cool, but we got a lot of problems at home.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Like, yes, sir. I'm having an issue with my Skype. Can you back away? Can you away from the phone a little bit, because my Skype is messing up, so it's kind of like distorting your voice. So back away a little bit from the phone.
I sure can. How's that?
It's kind of the same. Go back to normal.
Go back. How's that?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. And I was basically calling to let you know, man, and I know you're not a man that professes his faith, and I know that's a personal issue, and that's fine. But in Romans, the Apostle Paul basically said everything that's going on right now in this world, that things would get so twisted around and so backwards that God would give everybody over to a depraved mind. And that really explains what we're seeing with men calling themselves women and vice versa. You're seeing the Supreme Court nominee not being able to define what a woman is. And that's the world we're living in now. We have the leaders that we deserve. Because we there used to be a time in America, and I'm 53 years old, so I'm not old, I'm not young. But there used to be a time in America where America was so prosperous. And that at that time, we really did look to God. We hadn't removed God from schools yet. And that was really the first worst part. So once you do that, you open the floodgates, man. And now people have no morals. Everything goes. And ever since then, it's just been down the drain, down the drain, down the drain. I know a lot of people might not agree. I get it. But it's kind of plain as the nose on your face that God has given us over to that insanity, that depravity, and he said, if this is the way you want to go, and you want to turn your back on me, you're welcome to it. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. Okay. Sorry for the call audio. I think it's Skype acting up. Like I told y'all, don't blame me, blame the white man. Let's go ahead and reboot Skype. I know really high quality streaming. I'm sorry. Hey, remember, you guys, I said don't blame me, blame the white man, because it's not my fault. I don't take responsibility. But let's go ahead and reboot Skype right quick. Let's see if that helps. I think the other caller was experiencing the same thing, just kept having the malfunction. We'll see if that reboot helps it at all. Sorry for the audio. I wanted to let him be able to get his thoughts out. And it was kind of like on and off. It was weird. It was really weird. But let's try to get it back together. See, look, man, I'm just combobulated. I'm letting other kind of sounds ring. It's crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and do this, shall we? Nope, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. Okay, let's try it this way. There we go. Okie doke. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 918, hello.
Oh, hey, ABL. ABL.
What's happening?
Sorry, I had the volume turned up. I couldn't hear you. Hey, this is JD Scotsman from Oklahoma. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Just enjoying the show like I always do every week. But I know there was a couple of things that people mentioned tonight that I just kind of wanted to comment on that I agree with. The guy that was talking about like who's behind the curtain, the distraction, and that's a great point because obviously I think there is this someone or a group of people behind the curtain that are running a lot of things that we don't know about. And what I was just thinking about earlier, if you just look at the last 20 years, okay, George W. Bush, it was all Iraq, all Afghanistan, war. That's all we saw in the news. Obama, same thing. All 8 years, every day there was something about war on the news. Trump, nothing about war for 4 years. And you know what? And that's what they hate because he was the guy that was not supposed to be elected. He threw like everyone a curveball that was part of I would say the deep state. And that's why Hillary and that's why for 4 years, they did everything to get him out of office for nothing. If he did hardly any one of the things that Joe Biden's been doing in just a little over a year, like with our border, I mean, that's not defending our country. That violates his oath of office right there. He's not protecting us. I think it's an impeachable offense, but like I said, we just think about it. For those 4 short years, we had a president that was pro-America. And it's in the mainstream media hated that. They didn't want to report on all the good things that he did. So there's definitely an agenda behind the curtain. I know there is. And that's why in 2020, they just knew they could not let Trump win again. They had to do all they could to get him out. And they did. And that's why this last election was totally rigged and stolen. I mean, that's all they did. And I hope it doesn't last like that forever. I mean, because if we can't have a fair election, then the people behind the curtain are going to win.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah. So that's my thought for the night. All right. Everybody have a good night and enjoy the show. Keep up the great work, brother.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Yep.
All right, let's go to some more here. Let's go to 929 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony, can you hear me?
I hear you well, yes.
Please do not use the word white supremacy from the lefty. I mean, we all know what we all know what the definition of supremacy means. I mean, when the lefty they see a white American who have healthy family, high living standard, and high position is white supremacy. So please don't use that word.
Okay, I got you.
Oh yes, and I want to talk about there is a new word, and it is our southern border word. It is the Mexico word between the government and the mafia. It is happening. It is happening right now.
You say is what going on, like a war between the mafias down there?
Yes.
Oh
It
yeah.
is happening outside the border right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a big war. Like that's an actual war going on that's not being reported. The Ukraine war gets more coverage.
Yes, and that's so the border war. It is the word that we also volunteer to fight for because it is our country.
Right.
Now, I want to talk about. Do you know about Alex Jones? He say like the freaking fuck gay. So, actually, he mean that there is one biologist, Black American. His name is Tyrone Hayes, and he do the experiment that he used the ultrasound scene. Please hold. Ultrasound scene. Yes, Tyrone Hayes. He used the ultrasound experience on the force, and the force turned homosexual.
So his name is Tyrone Hayes, and what's the name of the thing he has?
The chemical is called atropine, and he used that chemical experience on the force, and it turned to in the freaking force gay.
Oh, so it's called it's an herbicide called atrazine. I got you. I see it.
Yes, it is.
Yep. That's the Alex Jones making the frogs gay. That's where that comes from.
Yes.
Got you.
And you can just from the science, the Black American biologist. His name is Tyrone Hayes. And this is the reason why the changes, like most of them are the co-member of the alphabet community.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get it?
I see. So maybe it's like there's like some intention going on, some poisoning.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. Now I want to talk about the alphabet community. I want to talk about the ideology and belief. So their ideology comes from John Money. John Money, who is a psychologist, who forced who forced a young boy. His name is David. I think his name is David Raymond. He forced that young boy into gender transition, since he is an infant.
So you're talking about James Younger out there in Texas?
No, I talk about John Money. Do you know who he is?
Well, I'm not sure,
John
but
Money.
I think also it's like the same thing that happened with James Younger, because they're trying to force his son to become transgender. Is that like the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
But it is like he forced him since he is an infant.
He's an infant?
Since he is a baby.
Wow. So that doesn't make any sense. So that's crazy.
Yes, so he gives him the hormone blocker, and his parents tell that he is a boy. And his parents tell him that he is a girl. But until like he start to feeling like a boy, and until he turned 15, and his father telling the truth that he is a boy, not a girl. But they give him the hormone blocker to him and make him think and make him act like a girl and think like a girl. And until he find out that, so he tried himself to try and go back to the manhood. Like
it could be very difficult. It could be difficult to. I got you. Yeah. Wait, I have like no time on this call, but thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. But I can't, I understand what you're trying to say. He was talking about how they're trying to turn the infant, they're trying to transition the infant. You're putting people on drugs. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I said on Jubilee. Like John Money. So he experimented on two twin boys. On two twins, boys turn one into a girl. So there's like experiments actually happening with human beings trying to make them become different. This is something that, why is that happening? Why are you literally trying to turn people gay? And if you're able to do that by experimentation, then that lets you know that maybe you could go the other way too, right? Maybe it's not necessarily just something that's so normal, correct? Just maybe. All right, let's get to a few more. I got time for maybe one more here. So the guy's name was John Money. All right. Did I get to? I think I got my calls. Yep. Yeah, the twin studies is crazy. Like exactly, like literally lab rats. It's evil. It's evil to do that. It shouldn't be done. And this is why I say in Jubilee that you can't be putting little kids on puberty blockers or hormone blockers, because they're kids. I mean, how can that decision be made for them? Like whatever people trying to play God, they're trying to play God and they're failing at playing God, because that's not how it works. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna just make you be whatever I want you to be after you're born." Or even before you're born. How does that really work? You're just going to change? That's not how it is. Exactly. Let kids be kids. Why is that such a, why is that controversial to say? Dent Machine Code says, do some research about John Money started the whole gender thing. I'll research him for sure. Locker Joe says, why would you irreversibly change someone before they have a chance to make any decision themselves? Exactly. A person usually doesn't set it into their own shoes until the mid-20s. Right. You go through phases, you go through different changes, and then you become who you are later in life. You grow up. Part of growing up means having experiences, learning, growing, developing. All of that is a combination. All of your life experience, all of what you were taught, all of what you are able to absorb, that's what makes you you. And that comes into full fruition once you get to be an adult. It's called growing up. 718 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hi. It's Hallie from Brooklyn. I haven't spoken to you in a long time. I was just ask you, I'm just so worried about, I guess, our currency. Someone was talking earlier about
breaking
currency. Do you think? Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yes.
Yeah. So, do you think cryptocurrency will be affected by this? I mean, I don't know whether I should invest in that. I mean, I really don't know much about the markets, but I just wondered, just given the world situation right now, I don't know, with the dollar, do you think the dollar will stay strong?
I don't really believe in crypto. I don't really believe in cryptocurrency like that, because I think it's attached to the dollar, because ultimately people want to sell cryptocurrency for dollars, in my opinion. So I don't really have a lot of faith in it.
Yeah, I don't really always understand how the whole system works, but I feel like you have to have something. I always thought you had to have something really to back it. It just seemed very ethereal. otherwise, the cyber, woo-woo kind of. But I was just worried that, my retirement account be worth the price of a postage stamp by the time all this is over. I just obviously, no one has a crystal ball, but but I just, I hear so many conflicting reports, and so I just wondered, given the, at least it's not rubles, but but do you think that I should just not plunge in, do any rash kind of, decisions right now as far as putting, the currency or anything like that?
Personally, I would not get cryptocurrency, but I would say talk to a financial advisor to see what your best options are. But crypto, I wouldn't do that, because ultimately people just want to try to sell it. They want to sell it for actual dollars. But if your dollars are messed up, then it does make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then the big question, I had to catch snatches of your show because I'm at work, so I'm sorry for any repetition. What do you believe? I don't know who to believe as far as who's winning the war, Russia or Ukraine, because I hear conflicting. Are there any reliable news sources besides you, of course? Are there any that you could recommend?
Oh, of course, my sponsor, PatriotPost.us. I got to talk about them, but there are a few more. It's kind of hard to find ones that are going to give you different views on Ukraine. The chat, I know they got some good sources. Breitbart, of course, they're pretty good. Patriot Post, there's a few places that can give you some good stuff.
Yeah,
but
the reporting is neutral. In other words, they're not just trying to tell you. It sounds like both sides are taking a beating, but they make it sound like Ukraine is defeated, and then another that tells me that Russia has taken a beating, but I don't see any real winners or losers in this war anyway. But if you can, if you know of any, appreciate any references, any recommendations. Because I'm craving just. There's a website called WION that's India based, and they seem pretty good. I could but I didn't say any others, please. I get your newsletter. You can even put that in there or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to close up shop here. I'm at work, so I enjoy your show very much, and I just wish you a good night. Yeah, everybody. Okay.
All right, now. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye.
The whole Ukraine thing, I think that's going to be a wrap pretty soon, because ultimately they're not going to be able to defeat Russian Federation. Let's just be serious. Ukraine against Russia. They're talking about we need help from the West. If they're talking like that, then it's pretty much a wrap. It's just a matter of how Russia if they want to escalate it, or if it's going to be a continuous fight, just wear them down. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. We shall see. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. Couldn't do it without you, but that'll be a wrap for the calls. I'll be back live again Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right around 11 p.m., I'll be here doing my thing, taking calls, talking about what's happening in the world. I got super chats to read right quick, and then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Shout out to the mods for keeping everything nice and orderly. You guys know I couldn't do it without you. And let's go ahead and get rocking here. Let me see. Lisa says, ABL, you rock. You don't have to read this. A laughing emoji. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Chad, who says Hunter's laptop controversy seems fabricated. It could be. As far as the news of it coming out right now, but the laptop is 100% real. Thank you to F Ranger Xbox, who says DAs and judges that don't punish violent criminals end up punishing the community. There you go. That's very, very well said. Thank you to Silas, who says PRC was at China, occupies 2 countries illegally, Tibet and Xinjiang. Correct. Exactly. Thank you to Double XP, who says, guy on Call of Duty, I'm dying, laughing emojis. Thank you to Samuel, who says, I fly the Confederate flag, but I love the ABL. I love ABL, keep it real. If you can't love your brother who you see, how can you love God? Doesn't have any grandkids. God doesn't have any grandkids. There you go. Thank you for that. Take it to the anti-view who says, no A word, B word, D word, S word, any word that would not make the cut for a 90s G movie. Do not say per ABL. Thank you. Hit the like. There you go. Yes, family friendly, super clean. That's how we do. All right. Take it to Les who says, great show, ABL. Words of encouragement to my fellow Americans. Keep the faith because we're going to start seeing plenty of turning events in our favor. God bless you all. U.S. Little Patriots and Les. Thank you for that. I appreciate y'all. Thank it to James Morris who says, this is what's that? Coming soon donation. Thank you for that. Like an emoji. Thank you to Nicole who says, vax are never approved prior to completion of trials. They're in phase 3. FDA's acceptance letter implying approval was dated August of 2021. Letter requesting approval wasn't submitted until November. Please don't be fooled. Forced. There you go. What's it? The EUA, emergency use authorization. It's not approval at all. You're 100% right. Nicole also says, FB jailed me for abbreviating transvestite on ABL's page. What you mean, like a transmission, a tranny in the car? I didn't say tranny as a person, I said tranny as a car, YouTube. You know what I mean? I think it's a Joy 84 who says, which members of the squad belong to this institution? All maybe. Hey, maybe so. Thank you to Kraz Aronov for becoming a member. Thank you to Armor Truth again for your donation. Thank you to Joy 84 who says, we should sue Big Tech for covering Hunter Biden. I think we should start canceling these leftist people. And thank you to Frank Dest who says, remember, every country and organization that the U.S. supported as quote-unquote freedom fighters turned on the U.S., a.k.a. the Mujahideen, against the USSR, only for its leaders to turn on the U.S. Remember 9/11. There you go. There you go. Well, that'll be a wrap for me. Thank you for being here yet again. I'll be back live again on Saturday. I'm live on Tatum's show tomorrow, I believe. If we do it, we're going to be there on Brandon Tatum's show. I think it's going to be at 9:30 Eastern, so check me out there. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.